This is one of them ones. This is one of them. I'm here to tell you that this is going to be crazy. This is about to be dope. We're going to get into it. Give me a second. Hold on. Here we go. We ready to go. It was a little echo in the background, but we about to get off into this thing, man. It's your boy G Bush right back in the barbershop. This is one of them ones. I've been waiting all week to get to this conversation. We got a lot of stuff to get to. This is the area where you're going to get a lot of receipts. If you have not received any receipts, this is a new episode. Cam Newton is out here talking that talk. He's saying exactly what I've been saying about this situation for weeks now. And this time it comes at the perfect opportunity to talk about it, because now the season is starting for people now. Season is starting for people. The season is ready to go. And the reason why this is about to be explosive is because for the majority of the time that we've been talking about this situation with the quarterback situation, a bunch of people, including media members and the fan base, been lying to themselves, acting like they was cool. I'm okay if Shador actually plays. I would love it if he was a starting quarterback. You done lied to yourself. You don't even believe that. So this is one. We gonna get to it, man. We gonna get to it. We got a bunch of members we gonna get to. We got a bunch of conversations. We got the Rex Ryan situation. We'll talk about Shedeur. We'll talk about Dylan Gabriel playing his first game. We'll talk about what to expect. We'll talk about why I believe that this is the beginning of the season starting right now. We will get to it on the electrifying, the most consistent, the most explosive, and the most devastating episode of the Barbershop right here on a Saturday morning. You already know what it is. Buckle up.
Quality, service, atmosphere. You're next in the chair. Feel at home in the Barbershop. G. Bush offers a fresh cut on sports. The Barbershop isn't just grooming for guys. It's culture, it's lifestyle, it's sports. And it's now the Barbershop is giving the sports scene a sheer shave and shine. Join the makeover now. Follow Garrett Bush at GBush91 on Twitter.
Welcome on into the Barbershop. Get your coffee ready to go. Get your favorite goblet. Get your favorite cup of coffee, whether it's tea, whatever you got, and get ready to be settled in for a great show as always right here on the Barbershop. It's your boy G Bush. You know what it is right here in the Barbershop. We got a lot to talk about. First and foremost, what I want to do is I want to say shout out to every single member for the Barbershop VIP member club, bro. Last week was our first week doing it, and we had over 155 VIP members sign up, man. It is a blessing to have y'all out and about and really supporting the channel. We had 2 great episodes last week, and we'll go over some of the things that if you are interested in as well, you can hit the join button. It's right there. The link's usually always there, and you just hit the join button. You can pull up. But we had a great session the first week. Dylan Gabriel is playing this week. We broke down the Detroit Lions game film. All those members, they'll tell you it's enriching. We broke that game film down about an hour and a half. We went ins and outs, run game, all that good stuff. Members only, we did that. We had our members only Wednesday night tea session. Boy, we got into some things. I talked about the media, some behind the scenes stuff that be happening. And I want to make sure y'all informed. And then yesterday on Friday, we dropped another episode of my other show called Top 5, where we do a bunch of top 5 lists with my brothers. We did top 5 worst candies of all time in lieu of Halloween. But before we get to anything, we got to dig on down to this, man. If you didn't know, and everybody knows around the world, people been all around the world know what's going on. Shedeur Sanders is still continuing to make headlines. And it's getting to a point where now people is telling on themselves. This has less to do with Shedeur Sanders and what he's talking about or what he hasn't said, and it has more to do. It has more to do with specifically what's wrong with people and what's wrong with how people feel about certain things. So what we're going to do, if you've been under a rock, we're going to lead you through the whole situation, and then we're going to get to some comments Cam Newton made, because I thought these comments Cam Newton made was spot on, and he's talking that talk. And I'm going to show you in real time how this thing moves and how this thing works, right? Because I've always said in talking about this is nothing to do with whether it's wins, losses, whether you could play or not. This has all the ability and all the situation to do with ideology and what level of comfort you are with people. And so Cam Newton being a quarterback that he was, that got a lot of hate, never really got a lot of love that he deserved in being an MVP, having gone to a Super Bowl, right? Cam Newton, because of his eccentric lifestyle, the way he dressed, his hats, the way he went about things off the field, guys was out here doing a disservice. He didn't really get what he did. And he was on with Nick Wright. Now I like Nick Wright. Nick Wright, Miss Bell was 70. What's going on? I appreciate you pulling up as always. Nick Wright, I like him. Heard the sound of them Clippers. Yeah, poetic pen. You had to pull up. Morning, Will. Mr. Overton in the game. So we got to talk about some things right here, man. We're going to talk about it. If you can't get excited about what this right here is the ammunition. This right here is really going to blow the cover off all them falsehoods, all them narratives. Malik, thank you so much for becoming a member, my good man. Birds Nest says, Wednesday's show was like church. We was in there talking. Let's get to it right now. We are going, Grady Baby, thank you. Grady Baby Apparel, thank you for becoming a member. Jeremy, we appreciate you. Let's start off with this. Let's start off with how we got here. Let's set up how we got here, boys and girls. Let's see what Rex Ryan's comments were that put us in a position that we talking like we talking today. Mind you, everything that he said was a bold-faced lie. Let's not even call it what it is. Come on, Rex, you was lying. Straight lie game, and I got the receipts to prove it. Y'all better stop saying stuff. You do know it's a little dude in Cleveland that got an internet. It's the internet is alive and well. I be seeing it. You can't just come out and say everything that you want to say now. Come on now. Here we go. This is Rex Ryan magically upset at Shedeur Sanders for what? Doing what? Not talking and not doing nothing? This man goes on an epic rant about why he should be embarrassed, yet and still, he don't talk about the coaching staff and how they can't score 20 points since last December. He still can't talk about why Shedeur Sanders is still the third-team quarterback. He didn't sniff the field that day. He can't say Joe Flacco's name because he was the worst quarterback in the league up to the point that he got benched. But look at the energy level he had for Shedeur Sanders and his little rant. We're going to break this down.
All right. But why the hell isn't he putting Shedeur Sanders? We're all waiting.
Hold on. Here we go. Make sure I got my audio together.
Stefanski is one of an outstanding coach. All right.
Notice what he did right there. He already stopped himself. He goes to say Stefanski is he's a good coach. See, what you wanted to do was lie again. You wanted to say he was one of the best minds. He's a person who's a quarterback guru, a person whose offense is explosive. If you can't be in Stefanski's offense and survive, you aren't doing your thing. He had to stop himself. It's funny. Body language is a funny thing, Rex. Why you so mad, Rex? Is that contract up, Rex?
Stefanski is one of an outstanding coach. All right. But why the hell isn't he putting Shedeur Sanders? We're all waiting to see this Shedeur Sanders be the guy.
So you start off with saying, well, why? Come on, Stefanski, you're a good coach. What's going on with Shedeur? We know he can play. But watch how you get the heel flip here. You see, you can always tell when somebody is disingenuous because the emotion comes out of nowhere. The emotion comes out of left field. He's not even thinking or emoting anything. When I get upset and mad, you know exactly how I'm talking about and what I'm feeling. You know how you know that? You know how you know that? is because you can see it develop in my mind and my personality and my soul. He's saying this to feel he's grandstanding at his best. Watch the heel flip. You sound worse than Hollywood Hogan, who used to be Hulk Hogan. And I'm not saying that because of his political views or any of that. I'm saying in terms of wrestling. You know how they do heel flips. All of a sudden, you're the good guy, then you come out and beat everybody up, and you're the bad guy, fans hate you, ratings go up. Here you go, Rex. Go ahead and get your heel turn.
Or Gabriel, whatever. Something's missing. Something's missing with this kid. This kid talks. He runs his mouth like I could be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your ass in the front row and
He said, get your ass in the front row, right?
Study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way. You got the talent to be the quarterback. You should be. You should be embarrassed that you're not the quarterback now.
We'll see if they make a change there.
And you see how they silently echo? They silently say, oh, well, Rex Ryan said it. Let me just, and I don't expect nothing from Damian Woody. You might sing. Listen, let me start telling y'all about how that go. Let me start telling you about how that go. Well, we got one person who found out the hard way that when you have a little bit of dissent, you don't end up there. You better not be talking loud up there, Damian Woody. You know you played for Belichick. Teddy Bruschi up there. Notice how he said get in the front of the room, right? If you new to the game, Exhibit A. We got exhibits here. We hold court. Let's get you up out of here. We got so many receipts today. We got so many receipts. First of all, let me show you the level and the tone. I don't know watch this. I don't know another quarterback in the league that people feel so comfortable with to use curse words, to use narratives about lazy, clown, borderline disrespectful things that you wouldn't say to another grown man. Notice something. When I talk about Dylan Gabriel, I don't make no judgment on his height in terms of trying to be inflammatory. I don't clown him about his height. I don't say little jokes about his height. When it comes to certain people, when it comes to allegations, I don't make jokes and allegations about domestic violence or assault. I don't make any of that. When I talk to people, I keep it on the field. But notice how quickly people are able to feel comfortable from going A to Z. And in terms of being trying to emasculate people, they always trying to sun somebody. Like, listen, guys, Shedeur Sanders is not a little boy. Y'all need to get that out of y'all's rhetoric. Like y'all can just talk to whoever you want like that. Because I don't see you talking to Jackson Dart like that. I don't see you talking to Tyler Shuck like that. I didn't even see you talking to Johnny Manziel like that. But you feel like because if I know it, we all know it. That means when you say that, you give lightning and you give air and space to other people to come in and disrespect them because they said, well, I can't really get in trouble. He disrespected him. Nah, but I got the receipts though. Remember what he said though? Hit that like button. 1,182 people in there. It's going to be one of them ones. If you can't get excited about this, I don't know what's wrong with you. He said, get your blankety blank in the front of the room. Well, here's what I'm going to do, Rex. Was you lying or was you just being extra? You might have been both. Exhibit A. Is that not Shedeur Sanders right there? I think I see his hairstyle. I know y'all didn't download it. He only won with it. Maybe y'all don't think that's very quarterbacky either. Maybe that's not how you wear your hair because you was mad about his backwards hat when everybody else is doing. I see Myles Garrett in the front row. I see Kenny Pickett. I see Joe Flacco to the left. I think that's Grant Delpit on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, that is Shedeur Sanders right there, still with his wrist up in the front row. Get your ass in the front row. Stop being an embarrassment like that. If I know it, everybody knows it. No, we don't, Rex. We don't know it. This is why receipts are devastating. Who told you that? Who told you? See, this is how lies start in the dark and people jump on them and they just run with them. Now everybody, well, he doesn't know his plays. Who started that? See how easy it is? What if I just randomly think about how this would work? Think about I got a platform. Think about if somebody got let go from a station somewhere, or one of my colleagues did something, and I just said, well, I heard the reason they got let go was X, Y, and Z. If that got back to said colleagues, they would approach me and be upset if it was not true. Even if it was true, they would say, why you all in my business? And on top of that, they would demand, who told you that? I always say this too. I got friends and I got brothers. I told somebody this. It'd be hard pressed for me to tell if I have a buddy and I saw his wife cheating or doing that, I wouldn't say nothing to him. People say, well, you're supposed to be a best friend. I said, nah, I didn't see too many people end up somewhere in jail or worse over telling people stuff that you got to stand on. 9 times out of 10, he know what it is, and he probably done seen all of the warning signs. But you want me to confirm it? You already knew it in your heart of hearts, bro. So I go tell you, it's your marriage. It's serious. You got mortgages and kids. You think she gonna let you divorce her? Straight up? She gonna say, who told you that? Maybe this, hey, listen, maybe this we cooking early. Maybe this ain't for everybody. I told you this is one of them ones. I might even have some other. It might be some friends, G. Bush friends. That's like, oh goodness, G. Bush. He on one. He 5-10 minutes into it. The key word about every conversation around is I don't know who's advertising him, what's telling him. Just say, I don't know what his dad telling him, Prime. When she come back to tell you, she gonna say, you telling me you think that you about to get a divorce over somebody I can't even look in front of their face and say what my side of the story is? Then you gonna have to tell her it was G. Bush that told me that you did X, Y, and Z. And now guess what? You still gonna be with her, ain't you? Now our friendship is ruined. Every time she come over, if you ever allowed to come back over, I don't like him. I can't stand him. You know I don't like him without, right? So why don't I just go ahead and keep our friendship together and hope you find out that she mess around and doing all kind of crazy stuff? I ain't got no time for it. I'm not trying to give you no courage. Who said it, Rex? If I know it, we all know it. You're telling on yourself. Remember what I said before. Cam Newton, we gonna get to his comments. We done seen this before. Anonymous sources. Who you learn from? Well, let's talk about this. Oh, here's another picture, Rex. Think that's Shedeur Sanders in the front row right there, is it not? See, the people, hey, shout out to the Shedorians. Shout out to the 12. Shout out to I'm only here for 12. Shout out to the see you aunties, grandma, grandparents. Y'all is so petty. I love your petty nature. Y'all, boy, oh, y'all, bless your heart. Y'all even took time to diagram it. Y'all fellas, I'm guessing. See, this is, I guess, well-off media. I guess well-off media is available to go on the road. And I think you guys forgot. You forgot they're documenting everything. So when you, and good on you guys, because you learned your lesson when they was doing all the narrative-based stuff and anonymous sources, and everybody was running with them. Now everybody, they named Jim, Bob, and Terry saying how lazy he is. You guys did a really good job of documenting. Oh, Rex, really? If I know it, you know it. Well, now if you watch the Barbershop, if I know it, everybody that watches my channel knows it. There's Shador right there. This looks like a hotel meeting, right? On the road. Let me go back a little bit. This looks like a team meeting in the facility. This is the film room. Guess what? Front row. This is on the road. going over the game plan before the game. Looks like he was in the front row. Oh, hold on. This looks like inside the quarterback room. I see Flacco. I see Dylan Gabriel. They've even diagrammed who the coach is. And also where the front of the room is located. This is diagrammed it's so well diagrammed. This is like a fire drill in school. Everybody line up in a timely manner and get to the side. There's 12 right there in the front. So when you say, get your ass in the front of the room and stop being an embarrassment, no, you lied. You either lied because you thought it was cool and nobody wasn't going to call you on it. You lied because you needed the clicks and you was looking like, listen, it's a bunch of people whose contracts is year to year. Rex, I'm sorry, you getting to the age where they're looking for younger talent. Happens a lot. Maybe you auditioning to get your podcast game up. You got to start somewhere. You got to decide what you're going to be. Am I going to be inflammatory, or you can't be informative? Ain't nobody just pulling up to see no informative stuff no more. You got to fight for all of the clicks you can get out here in this podcast world. You better be saying something spicy. Well, why not start doing the spiciness right now? You see, Rex, you started it because now when the rebuttal comes, your network and everybody there is just there to clean up with the views, because you know what's going to happen. The firestorm happens. Rex Ryan rips Shedeur Sanders. I wonder why you was talking about Shedeur Sanders when the game prior, the Browns had just got boat raced again by the Lions. Why not lead with why Joe Flacco wasn't playing well, or whether or not this offense is what it is? I know why, because Shador gets clicks. He's going to continue to get clicks. I know it ain't for everybody. We closing in on 1,700. Hit the like button. So let's continue on to give you what we talking about, okay? So in the timeline, let's get to Shedeur Sanders. If you've been under the rock, this is what Shedeur Sanders to cause the whole stir. Here we go.
Quarterback. Vocally, anything to say?
I guess one more. I guess what do you think you have to show? Show to the coaches just to have them have that belief in you that you can be ready.
What can you say?
How much has Joe been important to both you and Dylan in terms of your guys' development to this point?
Man, y'all might as well.
Somebody came in, y'all might as well chalk it up. That man ain't gonna say nothing to y'all. Somebody at the end, I want that conversation. Y'all might as well go ahead and stop playing. That boy ain't playing around with y'all. He ain't playing with you right now. So this is what got people up in arms. I liked it. I loved it. I thought it was funny because I think his troll game is on 1,000%. You know why? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You see, some people want to do you dirty and sit you on the sideline and then tell you, be quiet. So you're going to continue to attack my character during the draft process. Now, just unsolicited, we just playing a game. Another Skywalker says, I can't wait for DG to play. Don't want to hear excuses about the line of receivers. Final preseason game 12 was out there with damn near all players who got cut, and they told it and they held it against them. Oh, yeah, that was part of it too. Listen, you must got a crystal ball. We gonna get to everything. They're like, G. Bush, you done did all this, and we ain't seen Cam Newton yet. Oh, you gonna see him. Don't worry. We still got it. We got a ways to go. We just catching folks up. Let's keep it cooking. Now you saw what Shedeur Sanders did. You understand it. And the reality of the situation is they played both sides against the middle. They told you, hey, just wait your time. First of all, they didn't even say that. They told y'all to come in and sit down and shut up. The audacity. Sit down and shut up. Watch this losing we've been taking place for years. We on the high horse now. What you talking about? Sit down and shut up. You guys didn't do that very well. She was like, "No, we don't know you." But then we get to a point where now it's, hey, Shador played well in one game. That was completely dismissed. Completely dismissed. Monty Berry, thank you for becoming a member. Completely dismissed. And you know why? They can't admit it. To be honest with you, Cam Newton brings up a very, very valid point here. Out of the entire time that Shedeur Sanders has been a Cleveland Brown, it is very difficult to even think about a time they could give him some sort of praise, some sort of, hey, man, we really like Shedeur. Shedeur is great at this. We see Shedeur doing this. You don't even hear that. You can go on Twitter. It's all about his father. It's all about could he play or not. They're not even trying to give him any sort of out, right? When you talk about anybody, when they're talking about it, ask yourself, where's the comments? Where's the positivity? Where's the, hey, we like Shador. Hey, he did this in college. All the same thing that they say for Dillon Gabriel, it's null and void for Shedeur Sanders. As a matter of fact, they go to opposite ends of the spectrum. They name Dillon Gabriel the supercomputer. They name him the supercomputer by the way he processes information. But then on the other end of the spectrum, they call Shedeur Sanders lazy, arrogant, and brash. I said this was a video file. Anything that I'm saying, I got receipts for. I'm not just up here sitting here rapping and tapping, spitting and skitting and all that other stuff. We got the receipts. You tell me where I was wrong. Put it in the comment section. Here we go. Tell me how great this is. This exemplary?
The bigger question is
by the way, courtesy of 92.3 The Fan, by the way. This was on the King Carmen Anthony Lyman show 6 to 10 on 92.3 The Fan. What remember what I told you about that anger where it comes out of nowhere? That's a simple question. The question is, really, what we're thinking about is, let's talk about is this mean Shador's a little closer?
But the bigger question is the Shedeur question that's looming.
What is the Shedeur question?
You can't get to Shedeur until you go to Gabriel.
Well,
that's
right.
not going to happen.
And that's what I'm saying.
We got to find out.
What if? Right. And what if? But here's my point.
That's
what
why
if
I don't
Gabriel,
understand why we're sticking with Flacco.
The Shedeur question is...
I brought this up before.
Guys,
if you're going to go to Dillon and Shedor's got a chance to play at some point, why wouldn't you just let Joe go? I like Joe.
The only Shedeur question that anybody should be asking is, would they go to Zappy before they'd go to Shedeur? And I think the answer is yes. They do not want to see Shedeur Sanders anytime. It's why every day there's a new leak coming from that building about how unprepared he is and how he's walking around the building not doing what he's supposed to. You think the Rex Ryan thing that came out the other day just came off the top of his head and he made it up?
Sure he did. I just showed you he made it up. Yeah. Same way Todd McShay made it up earlier. Right? I just gave you I gave you that. But why you mad? Why you mad?
No, that's what everybody has been hearing. Daryl Ryder sat in your seat yesterday, said the exact same thing. Shedeur Sanders, you guys can make it the focal point of the YouTube chat, and we appreciate all of you guys for tuning in real time. The numbers are off the charts.
See how I told you. I told you. Listen, everything I've been saying, you see, it's always the shots to the Shadorians. You see that that was slight too. You guys who want to control the YouTube chat, shout out to the chat. The numbers are glorious. See how they be playing? They gonna play in your face like that. Yeah, you fools. No matter what you think, you still gonna pull up and them numbers gonna look crazy. What? Tell me where G. Bush lied.
But YouTube, the fact that you guys are investing so much time in a guy that was the fourth string quarterback before they traded away the guy they really wanted to be the starting quarterback should tell you all you need to know. Your dude fell for a reason. There is a reason that you guys thought he was top 5 and the rest of the league thought he didn't belong in the NFL. You guys were wrong.
Hey, did you catch the sly smile? See, this is listen. Did you catch the sly smile? Watch Randy Baskin. Y'all good. Y'all lucky I got the decoder. Let me just slow freeze frame it. Here's how you know they don't believe it. I'll be trying to tell y'all about the B-Bush, you giving too much away. Watch the sly smile. Like, dang, you really laying it on thick right now, dog.
There's a reason that you guys thought he was top 5 and the rest of the league thought he didn't belong in the.
You see that? Oh, it's human nature. I be trying to tell y'all, listen, you messing with the wrong one. I know how the sausage is made. He's like, you laying it on thick. This is going to be a great one. Yeah, we know. You don't even believe that. Kenny Pickett got traded because he wasn't good, and you tried to tell us he was good. We knew it wasn't. See, the reality of the situation is when you got the Infinity Gauntlet, and I call the Infinity Gauntlet this, when you done played, one, when you've been in the industry and you started on the internet, two, when you done got your money off, when you know what the game is, and then you also know how this thing moves and how the game goes. I got the Infinity Gauntlet. I can see right I'm just narrating them and walking them right through it. Come on now, y'all. You see Andy like, yeah, this is good.
The NFL. You guys were wrong. Everybody in the NFL was right, and there's a reason they were right.
How do we know? We haven't seen him play yet.
How do we?
You see him throwing? How do we know? We playing devil's advocate. We go back and forth. Come on, man. Now I'm supposing Andy's going to take this. Andy's going to take the side. He's going to take the side of Shador. We're going to play, and we're going to play. I don't know. Let's decide what we're going to talk about, because at the end of the day, we talking about Shedeur Sanders, and we ain't even got to Dylan Gabriel, and Dylan Gabriel's the starter. Guys, we all know, Shedeur can play. Kenny Pickett couldn't play, because if it was, ask yourself this question, and y'all all asking me in all kind of chats, why don't they just let him release him and let him go if they don't think he play? You guys, don't worry about it. They think he can play. They know he can play. And where we're getting to right now is it's scary hours. You say, why is it scary hours? Because Shedeur Sanders is now one snap away from becoming a starter. They cannot go back to Joe Flacco. It's over. And remember what he said. The only question is, will they go to Bailey Zappi? Come on, man. You know the answer.
We know any of these guys. Well, let's talk about all the rookies in next year's draft class.
Okay. I'm in. I'm just telling you, this fan base wants to see Shedeur at some point.
Oh, no, we will see him. Oh, we will see him. Understand that. Shedeur is ultra talented, prepared for success by a Hall of Famer. Gabriel is a steady, mature guy created by his travels. Rex Ryan is a loudmouth formed by hot dogs and hamburgers. He's a cookout guy. What you saying, y'all? 2,128 people in here. I told you I wasn't going to play around with y'all today. I told you I wasn't going to play around today. I got to give credit to this next dude right here. Make sure you go follow him. I'm all for giving credit. This dude, I like him. I used some of his. I used a quote he had maybe in the off season. Doc Holliday. I like this brother. I like what he's talking about. Make sure you follow him on Twitter. Check him out if he got some shorts. He be dropping some stuff. He drops some, and it be gems too, like little undercover stuff, gems. So make sure you go follow him too, right? on all media platforms. What you got, Doc? Is either Maya or Mia. Please correct me. Mia, Maya. I appreciate you though. This is such a case study in dysfunction. It really amazing to witness. No, it is. You know why you got to have all these multimedia stuff is because it takes that much multimedia, paper, literature, science, ecology, finance. It takes all of this stuff just to kind of break down why these dudes be doing the stuff they do. Every other team could just go play football. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if this channel was just about guys throwing touchdowns? Mary S. became a member. We appreciate you, Mary. We appreciate you. Here's what this man had to say. I think he's super dope. Make sure you go check him out.
All right, my guy Rodney Ruffin asked, my partner here in Memphis, whom I grew up playing football against, from junior high school, Havenview, Lanier, to high school, Whitehaven, Fairleigh, to college, Arkansas State versus Memphis. Said he wants my opinion and my thoughts on the video of Shedeur Sanders pantomiming when being interviewed by the media. And they were asking him questions, because Dylan Gabriel has been promoted to first-string quarterback. Joe Flacco has been benched, but he's the second-string quarterback, and Shedeur Sanders is still third-string quarterback. So when they went to ask him, Shedeur Sanders was answering the questions by not answering the questions. He was basically he was mouthing his answers and nothing was coming out. And I've heard a lot of people say he's, that's unprofessional and whatever and whatnot, and he's showing that he's not fit to lead a team. But my thing is this. Even Adam Schefter said he looked like a clown. He looked like a clown and is unprofessional. Let
me pause you right there. Adam Schefter, when did you get out of pocket? I'm gonna need you to report the transactions, bro. I'm gonna need you to report the trades and the injury report, bro. I need you to chill out. See, y'all see what y'all gotta, first and foremost, y'all gonna have to watch this clown word. Like, because y'all walking around really where I come from, if you call somebody a clown, you might have to actually see how funny they is face to face. I don't know where y'all come from. I don't know whether or not the gated communities or the areas where you live at is keeping you. I don't call people clowns because I'm still on the ground level. I might have to actually see somebody. I don't call nobody on the football field. Like I said before, they get inflammatory and they be disrespectful. And they get to the point they want to be disrespectful and then want to hide behind how unprofessional it is when somebody comes at them. Well, if you're so much worried about me and what I'm saying, that really shows that oh, wow, you're going to take it to violence, huh? That's really big of you. Oh, my goodness, this is why teams dropped on you. See, what they do is they want to get real disrespectful. They want to get borderline. They just want to get right up to the place where you might actually have some repercussions when we may have to have a conversation. And then they want to back off and play the victim. They're great at doing it. Adam Schefter, we still remember the way you be reporting news sometimes. I don't see you talking that clown stuff with Brett Favre. I need you to play your role, partner. You're supposed to be on TV to talk about league news, league meetings, rule changes, inactives for the week, maybe a fantasy football line. When did you get so comfortable you start calling people clowns? Let's go ahead. Go ahead, Doc. Keep cooking, Doc.
My thing is what I've always said. Shedeur Sanders, be yourself, man. Because regardless of what Shedeur Sanders does, people don't like him. They're always going to find something negative in what he says or does or what he don't say or what he don't do. Because when he's talking to the media, they tell him to shut up. What you talking to the media for? But the media are putting mics in front of his face to go speak to him. And he's answered every question professionally, hasn't gone off, hasn't shown a horrible attitude about being benched. So they tell him to be quiet. And Rex Ryan wasn't the only one that said that. So now when they want him to talk, when he does be quiet, now he acting like a child. And I say the same thing. What third string quarterback has mics thrown in their face every time? See, what they wanted to do, they wanted Shedeur Sanders to be pissed off. They wanted him to be mad. They wanted him to go off. That's what they really wanted him to do. See, they hate they can't control his emotions and control what he does. They can't find anything dirt-wise off the court. Off the field. So they try to nitpick everything he does. Everything he does. So that's my whole thing. He's not going to play. The hell you talking to him for? How is it unprofessional? Y'all say he's not ready to lead a team. Apparently the Cleveland Browns don't think he's ready to lead a team either because he's third string. So what y'all talking to him for? He's third string.
That stimulus package is different. Thanks for the chat. Guys, we love the comments. They ain't stupid. Listen, you got to understand. Let me show you how this game works. Right now, when the last time somebody really turned on ESPN for their news? When the last time you just had to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and watch SportsCenter? When the last time you was just watching people debate back and forth on First Take? The numbers is looking putrid, nasty work. And a reason that Pat McAfee is Pat McAfee now is because he's using this exact same format. Same format. Now you're going to have to say something. Now it's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of what happened back in the day, and I hated to see it. It's when MC Hammer was on top of the world. He was doing Can't Touch This. He had Pepsi. He was moving. Gangster Rap came out. Dr. Dre and Snoop. The Chronic came out. Doggy Style came out. It was over. It was done. It was finished. Anything with any sort of dancing, a melody, infectious hook, fun, that was gone. That was out of here. They was like overnight, boom. That's how quickly the game changed. See, sometimes some things can happen in the industry and the game is just different from there. We're not trying to hear what y'all talking about up there. You think, like, come on, bro. That format is garbage. If people say, that's where you're going to make it, G. Bush. You're gonna be on that television one day. I said, bro, I'm not trying to be up there with them. What you talking about? They do too much. I ain't trying to have no scripted arguments. Conversations about stuff people don't believe in. Rex Ryan had to. Dwayne Whitaker, appreciate you. Motivated, I disagree, brother. Cooper is a proven backup quarterback, and Lamar won't be out for long. Rush will be starting no matter what. I think they talking about we not trading Shador to the Baltimore Ravens. We not doing that. I hope y'all not saying that. Say no. Let's finish.
They wanted him to be mad. They wanted Shedeur to go off. They really wanted to give him to give them more fuel to their fire. I'm telling you, it's called selective journalistic prosecution. Screaming A. Smith is great at it. So everybody else is picking up on it. They're selectively journalistically prosecuting Shedeur Sanders. Why the hell I ain't heard from Dylan Gabriel? Why isn't Dylan Gabriel's interviews all over social media? Because it's Shedeur. They went to him and they wanted him to be mad.
Yep.
They wanted him to be pissed off.
Yep.
But since he didn't do what they want him to do, now he's unprofessional.
Yep.
Now he's a clown.
But
when he was doing what y'all expected him to do,
say what?
When he shut up and studied. Don't nobody want to hear from him. Quit putting the mics in his face then.
Say it again.
So that's how I feel about that, Rodney Ruffin, my guy. I appreciate you, man. You know I rocks with you, even though you a Kappa and I'm accused, but you're still my brother. I love you, man. All praises to the Most High.
Hey, listen, Doc, make sure you go check him out. There we go. I got the receipts from every corner of the internet. Don't think you can. My flow is unnatural. My flow is crazy. You never know what pocket I'm gonna get into. You like, this dude G Bush got cats from the internet. What's going on? This dude he in his bag right now. The bag work is crazy. You got to get this one. If you ain't at home, if you're not at this is. You just understand what we're talking about today. Now let's get to what we're getting to. Let's get to what we're getting to. But before we do that, we gotta mention this. Hey, you want to become a member? Listen, if you ain't excited by now, we dropping gems. Become a Barbershop member today. Become a Barbershop member today. Film reviews. We do a film review, live film review every single Tuesday. So coming up this week, we got the Vikings versus the Browns. You want to see how Dylan Gabriel's doing? You want to figure out is he balling or not, or is the media giving you a narrative? Watch the coaches film, the actual coaches film. You can get the film that I watch every single day, and we break that thing down. Members only live. We had the tea on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Wednesdays. So you got time to go home, eat some breakfast, eat some dinner, get the kids ready, and you can pull right on up 7 o'clock on Tuesday, 7 o'clock on Wednesday. As you can see, we got our commentary right now in the comments section. You're going to get comment priority. We make sure we shout you out in our tweets, right? Make sure you guys continue to send me all your information, because we're going to compile a list, and we're going to have it running in the beginning and running it in for all of our members. We want to continue to update that, so make sure you continue to do that. You get merch discount for the top tier, 20% off on Barbershop gear, and you get a birthday gift every single year that you are with us for your birthday, so we appreciate you. As a matter of fact, what I want to do right now is I want to show you a little bit of our breakdown in terms of what we do on Wednesday nights over here at the Barbershop, and it's going to give you an opportunity to kind of see what we do, break down, how we break down. Let me share my screen. And here we go. They're only going to bring 4 on this play. They're only bringing 4 on this play. So we want to see Joe. Joe should have some time, and he has some things to look at. Right now at the top of the screen, you're going to have 101. Right here, if you stop it, Dylan Sampson has a 1-on-1. David Njoku is in the slot with a 1-on-1 right here at the top of your screen. All the way to the bottom of the screen, you have Cedric Tillman. So you have those individuals ready to go as well right there. So you should be looking for one-on-one matchups where you can get something, whether it's a stop and go, whether it's something of a fade route, whether you want to win on a slot fade. But the problem with Joe is here, as we'll see, I believe this is the interception that he threw as we run it. You get it. Everything's blocked up correctly. Nice pocket. Things are blocked up. It looks like he has something coming over here in the middle. This guy right here in the middle of the field, Jerry Jeudy, is going to be coming open in a minute. There you go. So if you pause it right there, it is 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, right? So Detroit is in a pretty good position here, because even if he throws the ball to Jerry Jeudy over the middle of the field, you're going to have some individuals that are there to rally to make that play. As a defender, you just want to make them throw it short of the sticks and make the tackle, right? You look at the top of the – yeah. Yeah, there you go. As you can see, we break that down. And we got that every single Tuesday night. So Dylan Gabriel is playing. You might want to get in here, because they are going to tell you. You remember how we had to make them get the tracker out, right? You remember we had to say, under no circumstances, we had to make them get the tracker. Now, we ain't even got to do the tracker. You got the film work. We break it down every single Tuesday. So become a member and join the crowd. Let's get to Cam Newton. We've been here a long time. We've set it up perfectly. 2,423 people here. Continue to hit that like button. Cam Newton breaks this down. He's on with Nick Wright. And I like Nick Wright. Watch how Cam Newton masterfully calls out exactly what we've been saying and over here in the Barbershop about what the true reason is why people is moving this way, why you're talking to Shador all the time. What's the reason why people just don't want this man to see that he won't even get a shot to play? Let's talk about it. Here we go. Courtesy of Cam Newton, let's go. Here we go.
Like, I actually think that this is going to work out in a way where Shador gets a real shot at it. I just think he's going to be the third man up at it. And the only way he won't get the real shot at it is if Gabriel balls out, which I think is going to be very, very hard to do.
You know what my issue is? And this is what I have observed. Observed, right? This is what I have observed. I don't think they want Shedeur Sanders to be successful in Cleveland.
Why so?
Who's they?
And UCLA.
Because if you were to say, I want Cleveland to have a person or a figure to have every chance to be successful, Shedeur has been the opposite of that. All the points that you've made, Nick, has been undeniable and has been true. What also has been true is this. When you give Shedeur an opportunity to play with viable options around him, what does he do?
Sure.
He performs. The next opportunity for him to perform the following week, he didn't help his case because he had arm soreness.
He was unavailable.
The following week from there, if you want to see a real clear-cut identifier if he's capable or not,
with the one.
You put him with the ones, or you put him with the valuable twos. Don't put him with the trash. That's what he put him out there with. How many of those guys are still on the roster?
Yeah.
Now let me go ahead. Where you at? Hey now. Where the 12 camp at? I'm not saying me specifically, but ain't that what y'all was saying? Put a 1 in the chat if that's what y'all was talking about. That I feel like if put a 1 if Cam Newton is actually articulating some of the feelings that you was having, but people was acting like you was crazy. Oh, they're not doing that. Then why would they do that? You guys are crazy. All right, just put it in the chat. We just want to see it. We want to see it. Continue on. I ain't gonna step all over your joint, Kev. Or excuse me, Cam. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
So yes.
So I think that's fair, but I think we also have to acknowledge I can't say reality because
see, this is very key. He says I have to acknowledge the reality. But remember what we've always said. I've always told you perception is reality. In this world today, with low attention spans and low vibration, and people not using their own two eyes to believe and not doing their research and not understanding certain concepts, the more you say something, it becomes reality. The more people that you like, you identify with, that you want to be like, espouse to, the more they say it, the more you certainly in your heart subtly start to accept it as truth. And Nick, even though he's an articulate dude that I like, even he is infallible to that. He is infallible. He's not. He's not. A person who can just skate around that human nature. We've heard it so many times that he had to catch himself and say, well, the reality is, well, hold on. Was it a reality when they said he was all of these things and we found him to be different? Continue on. I thought, remember, it's psychology. Your body language never lies. You can do it up here and you can do it by being actors, but your body language, that's why these cameras is damning to people, because I'm catching you in real time.
I don't know that this is true, but what appears to be true is
parents,
the coaching staff front office didn't want to be in the Shedeur business. They wanted Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel. That was their plan.
The fact, and here's the thing, The fact that nobody will even call them out for their horrible plan is the devious part about it. Remember what I said earlier, it's not about wins or losses. It's about ideology and power. The fact that we are in a business where you say the NFL stands for not for long, in what world could you go out and have a quarterback room of Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, and y'all gave him a pass for having that? You actually sat there and said nothing? But you're talking about Shedeur Sanders stories and him mouthing and not saying anything or him doing whatever. No, the problem is that you've given these MIT guys this blanket statement about how, you know what, you guys went to Harvard and Yale. You know smarter than we do. No, you don't. No, you don't. How smart are they? They run every sector of the world. How well is the world doing? The only people doing well is people that look, act, and identify like they do. The rest of y'all is not getting nothing off. But we don't say nothing about that. Continue on. Well, they liked what?
Once they drafted Gabriel. And I think ownership saw this star from college is still available. We obviously don't have a surefire solution at quarterback. And the owner put his finger on the scale for Shador. And they drafted in the 5th round. And so what I do think is, if you're Kevin Stefanski, I do think you want good quarterbacking, obviously.
No,
but in a perfect world, you'd rather it be the guy you went out on a limb for in Gabriel rather than the guy who, if I'm right, that the owner put his finger on the scales. But I also...
Okay. You done said that part out loud. 2,636 people in here. Don't miss this, because he told you what exactly I've been saying from get-go. Think about how crazy this is. If somebody told me, all right, G. Bush, we got you, you go to the car lot, right? We're going to say, you pick a car. Now, I got the money, right? I got the bag. Say, pick any car you want. I pull off the lot. I say, yo. I looked around. It's a Jaguar over there. Like T.I. say, ain't nothing wrong with a Jaguar, but it ain't no Benz. So I said, give me the Jag. Ain't no problem. Ain't no problem. I'll take that one. That was my pick, my choice. Somebody else comes along and say, listen, hey, G. Bush, I know you got that Jag. We had some other inventory. You didn't get a chance to see that inventory. It was tucked in the back. We just got them in off the flatbed. I say, oh, what's that? Say, yeah. You could trade that one in you just got for this other one. As a matter of fact, you bought this one for $45, $50. We got another joint over here, retail price, sticker price suggested MSRP for this joint is $110. But we're going to give it to you at a discount. You're going to get it to smooth discount. Say, how much a discount? We're going to give it to you less than you got the Jag for. What? Let me see it. They pulled a flatbed out. They got the Aston Martin just pulling up. I said, what's wrong with this? Ain't nothing wrong with it. Somebody said that there was a problem with the brake system. We had our mechanics check it out. We got the Carfax right here, clean bill of health. So you meaning to tell me I got a better one with the Aston Martin? I'm getting it for the same price that for the Jag. I'm not only getting it for the same, I'm getting less. They're only gonna charge me $35 for the Aston Martin, and the Jaguar is $50. And I turn around and tell them, you know what? I'd rather have the Jaguar because I chose the Jaguar first. Everybody and their mama look at you like you a blooming fool. You meaning to tell me you ain't gonna take the Aston Martin because your foolish pride said the first person I picked and it was my choice, that has to be the correct one? I don't want to be nowhere near that person because that person is short-sighted, narrow-minded, arrogant, and probably is averse to facts. If you think what I just said right here, this is the exact same analogy that happened to the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns overpaid for a Jaguar. It's a nice car. 50, I mean, you overpaid for the Jag, huh? But you got an Aston Martin off the flatbed. Totally fine. But they lied and said some faulty mechanic then told you, some dude that don't even know how long, can I get the background on the mechanic that said that, the Aston Martin? He worked for the dealership? Nah, he used to work on Chevys. We was just short-staffed. Let me get that Carfax. Hey, you mind if I have the mechanic take a look at this? No problem. Take it over there. You know how we got a chance to see that it was faulty and they didn't know what they was talking about? Because we actually got to see this. We actually got to see your boy Shedeur Sanders ball out. We saw it in practice. Brake line looked good. We saw it in the game with no reps, with no first teamers. Man, that boy run good. I done took the Aston Martin for a test drive. I done had my personal mechanic look at it. I come back and I still got an opportunity to get this for 35 and the Jaguar's still sitting there. I could swap them out. Any person that's sane and got their faculties about it would be like, give me the Aston Martin. Sorry, Jaguar. We got to make some things. That is the equivalent of what they doing just to say, I'm going to roll with my decision. Irrefutable. This is why you can't mess with me on these sticks. Irrefutable. What are we talking about here? The receipts is alive and well. Continue on. I'm just have to tell you so you understand it. That this is what Nick Wright is saying the Cleveland Browns are doing. Cam Newton comes with the rebuttal.
I also think, Cam, I just don't think it's as conspiratorial as a lot of people make it out to be, because I think, you know what happens a lot in training camp? Tell me if I'm wrong. A third-round pick gets preferential treatment of a fifth-round pick.
No, for sure.
Like, they are going to give the higher-drafted player a bigger opportunity and more of a margin of error because they have more of their reputation tied up in that.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Here's what we're going to say, too. We're going to talk about Dylan Gabriel playing. Say that part out loud, Nick, right? You can't have it both ways. You are correct. But your career and your reputation is on the line with Dylan Gabriel. Let's not act like you're going to just be able to come out here and be like, oh, he didn't play well. No. You gave him the reps. You drafted him. You drafted him higher than everybody else had. And you staked your reputation on it. Under no circumstances are you sliding. We'll talk about that coming up later.
I don't think that's all that unreasonable. I'm not as like flabbergasted by the Shedeur stuff as I think other people, because I think it is as relatively simple as the moment that teams weren't willing to make the investment of, we are surefire developing him as our first-round pick starter, then once he got in the backup quarterback world, man, a lot of the stuff that people love about Shedeur is not what you want in the backup quarterback. All the stuff that people are praising Jackson Dart about, his aura, his confidence, all of that shit doesn't play as a third string guy. And so I think Shedeur does have like an it factor. I think he is tough as hell. I do believe in pedigree, and I do care that like he grew up around the game and he's prime son. I think that matters. And I think I'm talking to you about being a leader of men at quarterback. It's kind of dumb. I think part of the reason you were you is because you walked into a room. I remember my old co-host and friend Chris Carter telling me he saw you at a camp when you were in high school.
Facts.
And he was like, man, that guy walked in. He's like the Pied Piper. He's like, it didn't matter how many other alpha athletes they were there. They're like, that guy's fucking something else. And I think that, I think Shedeur has an element of that with no disrespect, I don't think Dillon Gabriel ever will. But I also think that if you're not the clear-cut starter leader of the team, that can almost work against you. It's like I would be, again, hey, you're going to talk for 90 seconds an hour. Like I wouldn't be able to do it. And so I think Shedeur has never been a backup. And so I think there are certain things about him, the way he carries himself, the way he talks, his confidence, that are not backup quarterbacky. And I think in this instance, it works against him a little bit.
I want to ask a quick question. That was perfect. And even just to go back to Rex for a second, even with Rex statements, if they're false or not, and I know that going out to the masses, how much merit does it really hold when the people inside of the organization really know what's going on, like where he's sitting, how he performs? Like for the people that just like on the outside is like, well, if this is not the case and the coach know what Shedeur is doing, why does it matter?
Right. And that's what makes the situation so sticky, because we're talking about a third string quarterback here. We're talking about a 5th round pick.
Yeah.
I think the only reason, Nicholas Valdez, whether you want to agree with me or not, this is my conspiracy theory about the Cleveland Browns. Shedeur Sanders is extremely talented and well and capable of being a player in the NFL. That is facts.
Sure.
But I do not think a lot of teams are willing to risk what's mounting in circus-like attention that he brings naturally. So therefore, the Cleveland Browns were stuck with this idea. If we cut Shedeur, that will be bad for business.
It wouldn't be relevant at all.
Bad for business. Business being he's good for business on our roster. If we cut him, he's going to be picked up by somebody. When have we ever had a person on our roster to move the needle? We have the most dynamic defensive player in the game today, and he is a person that is extremely meek. He's a person that does not scream to the top of his lungs. I don't even know what his sack celebration is.
No.
He goes to work, he shows up, he just sacks quarterbacks, wreak havoc, and get on out the way.
Yeah.
That's who Myles Garrett is.
Yeah. Correct.
The Cleveland Browns have never had a player in modern day that pushes the needle like Shedeur Sanders. And I'm saying this with the additions of them saying, hey, what about Baker Mayfield? Baker Mayfield didn't push the needle like Shedeur Sanders. What about Johnny Manziel? Johnny, possibly.
I would say Johnny.
But Johnny Manziel's distractions off the field, which always had people questioning, like, yo, do you want to be a football player or a party?
Rock star.
A party guy, rock star.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with these things, Shedeur Sanders has never given nobody no real ammunition. Okay, he answers the question with his arms folded. What is he supposed to be like? What do you want him in, a 3-piece suit?
Oh, well, that.
There you go. There we go. We got to it. Now, as we continue on the let's bring it home part, because I know we got a bunch of super chat. We have a bunch of stuff we're gonna need to get to, right? The part that I always say, and I throw to is Gabriel starting. Where's the buzz? Why would you be talking to Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel starting, right? And before we even get to this, here's the thing that I understand about Dillon Gabriel, and I've always said it. Said it on UCSS. I've said it on everything. Reality of the situation is this. Dillon Gabriel is playing. Do I think that Dillon Gabriel is a franchise quarterback? No. But am I sitting here hating on Dillon Gabriel? You can never accuse me of hating on Dillon Gabriel. He's starting. I'm going to see what he can do. If Dillon Gabriel comes out here and balls out, I got to say he balled out. You could do two things at once. You could say, I believe that Shedeur Sanders is good, and I'm waiting to see him play. I can also say I want to see if Dylan Gabriel got something, and at the end of the day, we're going to be able to judge what it is. The problem is this. The reason they're still talking about it is because he's one step closer to playing, and he's one step closer to playing faster than people even thought it was possible. See, the plan was they was going to get Kenny Pickett, put him in here, and he was going to be the next dude. It was going to be either him, then Flacco, then Gabriel. That's it. Pickett turned out to be trash like we told him he's not going to be good, and he was hurt. They moved him for nothing. Joe Flacco got in. We believe in Joe. Joe's going to give us the best chance to win, and then all of a sudden they found out Joe Flacco was 50, and he played like he was 90. Guess what? Out of the end of the game, end of the spectrum. Out of here. So now we get to a point where now guess what? Dylan is up. Dylan Gabriel is now up. Now he has to stand on business. Now he got to produce. Now Kevin Stefanski, people are going to be watching to see what these games look like. Kevin Stefanski is going to be needing to do something to see what these games is talking about. Right? They're going to need to. So let's get to this. I think Ryan Clark says it best in this little clip.
The Cleveland Browns, Super Bowl defense, offense that couldn't make you or help you win a Little League championship. Chad, what's the answer at quarterback? And more specifically, is it now Dylan Gabriel?
I don't think Dylan Gabriel is the answer. Can he be efficient? Yes, he can be efficient if those around him elevate their level of play, because he's not the type of quarterback to elevate the offense. And I mean that in no disrespectful way. That's just the kind of player he is.
Coach, is the answer to quarterback in the building for the Cleveland Browns?
I don't think so. I think Dylan adds one thing, and it's the same thing Jackson Dart added for the Giants, mobility.
Here's a run again by Dart. 1st and 10. He'll take it in. His first career touchdown.
Dylan Gabriel does a great job escaping the pocket.
I don't think young quarterbacks are going to be able to stand in the pocket and read the defenses and handle the blitzes that you're going to see to win. They got players around them. They got to run the football, that's for sure, and everybody knows that. So they're going to stack the box, make him beat you throwing the football. But now that gives him a shot, if he can break out of there, to make some plays with his legs like Jackson Dart did last week.
You can't hide him. There's only so much you can do to manipulate the offense. At some point, he's going to have to throw the ball. He's going to get exposed at some point. And we're going to see, because it's not the preseason. It's not the same vanilla defenses that you're used to seeing. It's a different ball game.
It's a different level of intensity. Ain't going to be no more of these dudes that they're sending home at the end of the preseason. To me, the Dylan Gabriel move would be a move that gets you one step closer to Shedeur Sanders. And I think if you're Andrew Berry, the general manager, if you're Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, you want to see if your quarterback of the future is in this building. I don't know if Dylan Gabriel's the answer, but I do know this. It never should have started with Joe Flacco.
You're making people nervous around here. You're making people nervous. Courtesy of Inside the NFL on X. You're making people nervous. See, when you make people nervous, you're starting to stick. You're way too close to playing. Now, the question people want to say is, you're walking around. People is trying to say to you, G. Bush, you trying to say, you know what I'm saying? Like, Shador, he just not ready. They hope he's not ready. Reality of the situation, Cats is really starting to realize that you one play away. And like we all say, you're going to have an opportunity to prove yourself in this life. You got an opportunity to stand on business in this life. You got an opportunity to show what you can do. The plan was not to have him show what he could do and to run the shot clock out. That looks like that's not going to happen anymore. Now, you're going to have to stand on business. Now, let me put this up. We got to talk about this because this is wild work. This is wild work. And when you watch how people in real life play and move you and put you in your place, When I seen this, I said, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. I didn't even think this was truthful until I saw it. Now, Emmanuel Acho was on with Shady McCoy, and he proved my point in a way that I couldn't even articulate. You just had to be there to see it. It's a thing about stepping out of your place, right? We all understand where your place is and what happens with the NFL, and when you step out of place, they get you together real quick. Now, imagine this article comes out, Exhibit D+. Imagine this article comes out. So Emmanuel Acho was on FS1, and this article came out, I believe, in July about his show being canceled, right? Now, his show was canceled, and I thought it was ironic that these comments followed his show being canceled. Now, at the end of the day, nobody's show wants to be canceled. I do no victory laps in anybody's show being canceled, and you know what? I understand how it is to be wanting to do something and not given the opportunity to do it. I lived that. I walked in those shoes, so I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But this is very interesting. It says the faculty struggled to attract viewers, and its low ratings ultimately led to its cancellation, ending a short-lived experiment in athlete-driven sports talk. Now, think about it. See the way they bring the narrative. Athlete-driven sports talk. That is a very choice word because it denotes that there's a difference between sports talk and athletes-driven sports talk. They put the delineation there. And as an athlete, you are expected to toe certain lines. You are expected not to go to certain places. You are expected to adhere to this traditional media hierarchy that has always been present and which you were probably not a part of. Notice that. So they said, but the faculty struggled to attract viewers, and its low ratings ultimately led to his cancellation, ending a short-lived experiment in athlete-driven sports talk. Acho didn't sugarcoat the situation. In his response to the news, he expressed uncertainty about his future via X with a brutally honest take. In sports, in sports, when you're not good enough, you get cut. In TV, when you're not good enough, you get canceled. I'm not going to try to come at y'all with some big announcements coming soon. Stay tuned, because I don't actually know what's coming. But what I do know is I trust God, okay? You always should trust in God. That's part of, we preach that over here. All right. He said, while FS1 has not commented publicly on Acho's exit, Marchin reports that the network expressed to develop new programming to replace the canceled shows. Acho's exit also coincides with a personal controversy at Fox. A workplace misconduct lawsuit filed earlier this year alleged that he and Charlie Dixon, a former programming executive, had an inappropriate relationship with Joy Taylor, who was his co-host. While the lawsuit did not directly implicate Acho and misconduct, the allegations added to the turbulence surrounding FS1's daytime lineup. Now, that was simple news. I just read it like I see it. Now we go back and juxtapose that conversation with his uncertainty to, okay, October, and now we have his conversation on Shedeur Sanders. This, to me, I had to check back 3 times to see if he said this. And these are his words, not my own.
Your talent does not match your distraction, then they will not make room for you.
If he wasn't a black quarterback that came in with that swagger to act like he didn't need the NFL, his dad is who his dad was, this won't be no conversation.
NFL played a part. Shador played a part. Everybody acknowledged both parts that were played.
No. See, the first thing you know when somebody's doing too much is when you hit me with the both sidesism. It wasn't no both sidesism. What did Shedeur Sanders do? What go help poor people? He ain't Johnny Manziel. He went caught in a Las Vegas casino on Tuesday during the game. I mean, did he fail a drug test? I'm trying to figure out where is his arrest. It wasn't no both sides. When somebody hit you with the both sidesism, I'm asking myself, who are you trying to save, Emmanuel? Continue on. It gets worse.
That's all I'm asking.
And what's Shedor's part? So I'm clear.
The part is this: Shedeur could have carried himself differently going into it. At the NFL Combine, he could have thrown.
So what happens when top prospects go to the Combine and they don't run?
If he wasn't black, I don't think he would have acted like this. You feel me? Because the culturally, that's how Shedeur. You feel me?
This is crazy.
It's a new. But
I had to pull. I said, "What? Did he just say that?" What?
But for real though,
Yo.
like what white people don't what white person cares himself like Shedeur?
This is wild work. Really?
Jackson Dart got some swag to him though.
Jackson Dart, but even that, the chat is saying like, yeah, when Jackson Dart does it, it's called swagger.
Yeah,
it's called he's hype.
Come
He's called
on.
it, but when Shedeur does it, he's cocky.
Come
he's
on,
arrogant.
come on.
Woo! We just seen that. I can't unsee that. What do you? Yeah, sometimes things be going down and you just need to get back in them good graces. Sometimes, is you trying to get your show back, dog? You ain't have to go that far to get the show back, dog. Man. Like, you ain't have to do all that to get your show back, cuz. You couldn't have just, like, wow, like, he didn't have to act like that. That's that, like, and this is why, to me, this is why I try to say, I don't want it that bad. I don't want to be that big. I don't want to be that big. I don't. Because if you got to do that to really keep a show. And Shady McCoy asked him, what did he do? He said, no other white guys act like that. So this is why, in FS1 and all these other different places, these big places, right? That's the game plan. He told you right there. He told you by himself. If you ain't playing ball the way we want you to play ball, we can't play no ball with you. And I'm like, bro, you up here sweating? You up here looking confused? I get it. Start your little podcast on your own. I'm sure you got a couple little followers. You got to have some Instagram followers somewhere. You got to have some Twitter followers. Man, just start your little podcast, bro. But you ain't got to go that route. You went all the way there. They put that pressure on you, dog. They put that pressure on you. Dang, bro. That hurt my heart. That hurt my heart right there, bro. I only played it once. I only played it once because I don't even want to keep going back and reiterating that. Everything that you fight for in life, everything you fight for as a person, to be recognized as a person, to be recognized on your merits, we say in this country it's a melting pot. We say in our country, your merits should put you where you are. Every single day, we get our children dressed, we put them on the bus, we give them a kiss and a hug, and tell them, go out there and be who you are, unapologetically, and believe that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You believe in all of it. But can you imagine the second you have a little adversity, instead of telling them, hey, you stand strong, you stand on who you is, never forget who you is. We tell them that you didn't have to act like that. It was your fault too for being you. And so as we end this conversation and we get to your super chats, this is a conversation that is bigger than Shedeur Sanders. It's a representation of what everything means in life. Either some things matter or nothing does. We're in an era right now where people tell you didn't see what you saw. Bad is good, good is bad. And you know what? You could do anything as long as they keep paying you. Really? I keep turning on the TV and I keep seeing people who look like me. Jason Whitlocks of the world. Telling me that it's my fault, it's your fault. Talking about single parents and single you gonna get on TV and talk about single parents and struggle. This is more than a Shedeur Sanders conversation. It's a conversation about what you stand for. Because it's a lot of people in public that say they be standing on something, but then they just start to, how you fix your face to say that? If I gotta fake and pretend, I don't want what you got. I don't want to hang with you, bro. I don't want to be in your mix. And at the end of the day, they're telling you and showing you in real time. That's why they said the short-lived experiment in athletes only content. Let's be clear. A lot of people right now feel like because athletes make a lot of money, they don't look at you as a human. They look at you as a person that's out there to entertain them. And the second you get outside the box of what their entertainment is, they have no use for you. They have no remorse. They have no, you're not spiritually connected to them. You are an entertainment piece that is a toy soldier. They use and talk to you. Understand this. We do a thing called sports talk football and sports talk. By me talking about all these individuals, I could take care of my family. I say it all the time. You are a guest. You do nothing. You don't lift, you don't run, you are a guest. But you've been behind these microphones for so long, you feel like you can control the narrative. You feel like anytime you let another person say whether or not you a Hall of Fame or not, it's crazy work. Why do a writer get to write about anything? How does a writer who's a second-hand eyewitness to something get to vote on something? At the end of the day, the conversation about Shedeur Sanders has nothing to do with whether he can play. And you know what Shedeur said? And he finally got to a point. Screw it. I don't care. You like me, you don't. You can't put me in, you can't take me out. That's the scariest part. Because for so long, the media has always been the magician behind the screen that says, I'm going to paint you in a way that the masses will move in a way that I tell them to move. But what happens when you got people who no longer listen to the magician, who no longer dance the way you want them to dance, who think, who breathe, who consume content that tells the truth? You find your grip slipping week by week, day by day, your voice becoming diminished. That's why it deals with, that's why we keep dealing with people that got to get louder and louder and more disrespectful. You become desensitized. You're not getting the rise you used to get. You're not getting the clicks you used to get. You're not getting the influence you used to get. It ain't the same. You used to be able to say something and people jump off a building and be like, oh my gosh. Now looking at you like, come on, bro. We've been seen through that. Shh. We gonna move in silence. It gets nervous. It gets scary when you don't have a compass and your voice is diminished. Right? But that's the great thing about life. It's always a new cycle. It's always going to be a new group of people. You should embrace it. Those who embrace change are the ones who get to stay. Those who don't become dinosaurs and then become extinct. And frankly, there's a lot of mediums. There's a lot of different places where people have become extinct. And it's a shame because some of them is causing extinction by themselves. Come on, Acho. You got y'all athletes got to understand you already got what you need. The expertise, the money to put into the platforms, the direction. You got all the stories. Why would you need Howard Cosell to tell your story when you got Muhammad Ali? Come on now. Never, ever, ever get to a point where somebody gonna tell you there are repercussions for you being who you are. That's it. That is my retort. That is my pushback. It ain't got nothing to do with whether Shedeur Sanders could play a lick of football. It got to do with whether regular people feel like they are over people to a point where they can just make them say and do how they want to do so they can be comfortable. I'm going to be comfortable in my own skin tomorrow, today, and the next day because I ain't trying to hang with you, bro. We ain't trying to kick it. We ain't going to the same birthday parties. We're not going to do it. Y'all can get in the comment section. G. Bush is a clown. We'll put some respect on it. It's a big circus because you're not moving me. At the end of the day, I would rather stay here with my little black t-shirt on in the Barbershop studios. I ain't never got to see Bristol or LA or Colorado or Dallas or Miami. I ain't never got to see it. I ain't never auditioning. You give me 20,000 loyal cats that want to talk the real talk, over 100, 250,000 dudes running around here trying to get it. Because trying to get it, when you get older, I used to say, I never understood why my uncles was no nonsense. You know, that was no nonsense. Thank you, Jimmy Cleveland. I appreciate you becoming a member. You know why it is no nonsense? Because they had been through a whole lot. They had seen a lot. Just Google 1960s. They wasn't playing with nobody. It got to a point, they worked their jobs, they ate their lunch, they came home, and they was not playing with you. I stay right here, you stay right there. Thank you for the super sticker. Whether y'all know it or not, this has been a conversation about life, not the Cleveland Browns. Reverend BJ Nelson, thank you for becoming a member. You know what it is. To throw a bow on it, Dylan Gabriel is going to start. Dylan Gabriel is going to start. And let me tell you this. The season has now started. You should be dialed in as a Browns fan. You should be dialed in as a Cleveland Browns fan to the T. Because if you believe that pressure bust pipes and you believe that your merits count, then everybody, it's time for the real competition that we wanted. Now starts the competition. For all those that were scared, that be shucking and jiving and trying to, he's not ready, he's not ready, he's not ready, he's not ready. The he's not ready dance, he's not ready, he's not ready, he's not ready. Well, he ready now. And the competition that we all been wanting to see is now upon us. The supercomputer. The Intel Pentium processor. The Dell. Deep Blue versus Legendary. Watches is up. Microphones is up. The world is watching. No longer can you hide, obfuscate, slip around, and waste our time. Don't you waste our time with that fake quarterback competition. We get into where we needed to have been to start with, right here. And I don't got no problem. If you like them, put them out there. We done forced your hand now, Kevin. 3 weeks before you wanted to. You was going to try to slow play us. Nope. Now we get to see Dylan Gabriel. You put your money on him. You put that bag up. You said this is your dude. We now get to see. We now get to see. Because that's the only merit that counts. And plus, we're going to watch you too. We watching you, Kevin. Because here's the thing that we need to start talking about and turning around. Whether we talking about this or being a Browns fan, I'm a Browns fan through and through. But what my agenda is my agenda has always been, oh, it's fine if you want to evaluate quarterback, but we're going to evaluate the offensive line, which is trash, and I told you before the season. We're going to evaluate the receivers. I told you they wasn't no good before the season. We're going to continue to evaluate. And while everybody else was running around talking about why Myles Garrett wasn't at camp, who was the guy over in this way that was telling y'all sitting here trying to make me, Myles Garrett is the best defensive player in the game. He might be the best non-quarterback in the game. And you sitting up here trying to tell me and run these smoke screens about what Myles Garrett to do. Trying to tell me with these smoke screens. You trying to hide people. You can't hide. Myles Garrett, dope. Myles Garrett is one of them. He always going to be one of them. A baller. Walking Hall of Famer. Don't try to convince me. Don't you just try to distract me. We evaluating you too, Kevin. Offensive guru. We ain't seen no 20 points in years since last December. And by the way, the last time we got 20 points was with Jameis Winston, and you wasn't the coordinator. It was the guy you scapegoated before that, Dorsey, huh? When we was throwing up for all them yards, it wasn't your playbook that was scoring 300 yards back to back. That was Dorsey. By the way, who was the offensive coordinator in 23? You weren't. That was Alex Van Pelt, and you fired him. Wisdom speaks. We appreciate you. They got that clickbait. That clickbait cannot help them right now. You got to stand on your own 2 feet. And that's what everybody's so nervous about. Well, what if happens if Dylan comes out and don't look good? That means it's on us. Yes, it is on you. You had an opportunity to play him. You had an opportunity to prepare him. You chose him. You gave him all the reps to make him look good. And now people are going to be looking at your playbook. It ain't going to be on Flacco. You've lasted through Baker, Deshaun. You done lasted through Flacco twice. We watching you now. And we finally get to see the competition. So, Shador, I hope you listen, I know you about there cooking. They try to throw a nice little nice Miss Robinson. They ain't had no 20 since then. We're gonna find out. And for all y'all that want to sit around and talk about, oh, well, you notice, how is this a week? What stream platform do you? I use StreamYard. Fuel. For all y'all that want to sit back here and say, well, now get ready. Get ready. I'm not wishing no downfall on nobody. Because this is what I wanted to see from Jump Street. I ain't never ducked and dodged no competition in my life. Let's talk. But now you're going to get that competition. Now, Shador going to be sitting there 6-7 weeks, figuring it out, taking notes, working against the first team. Now, I don't want y'all, listen, I don't want y'all spazzing out. If Dylan don't play so well, watch what G. Bush do. Y'all can all tell him too. G. Bush said that even if Dylan Gabriel don't even play the first week, I ain't even tripping. I'm going to just wait to see what he do next week. We're going to see whether he progress, make some better plays the next week. Get better. I ain't hating. You just a rookie, right? You see, what you got to do is you got to give grace to receive grace. So I'm going to afford Dylan Gabriel every courtesy that I'm going to demand when Shedeur Sanders starts to play. Because I'm watching and looking. I'm watching and looking, taking notes. If you was full of patience when Dylan Gabriel was playing, you better keep that same energy, because I have the receipts. Is that you? Remember a couple of weeks ago you said this, but now all of a sudden it's this? You keep reminding them. I don't want to start to see when Shedeur get in the game, all of a sudden is you done turn the whole commentary to draft 26. Let's talk about how great this guy is to lead the show. You know it'll be coming. I ain't missed yet. I ain't missed yet. I want to see the supercomputer. I want to see it. Give him a chance to prove his merit on the field. That's the only way a soldier does it in battle. Like the Roman Empire. They be, listen, people, can you imagine back in the day, you get left at home and we going to war? You got a problem. You left me at home. How you gonna leave me at home? No, I need to be out here. You ain't gonna have the people talking about me on left and right. You ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that. Keys to the game. Don't turn the ball over too many times. By the way, it's a 9:30 kick. 9:30 kick a.m. It's in London. The great part about it is, don't forget, the post game comes up. E-Unit, what's up? Post game comes up. I should be on the post game about 1:30. So you guys, when y'all see the notification for the Barbershop post game, pull up. We got a bunch of comments. We got a super load of comments on here. Let me clear this up so we can get everything rolling, and we're going to get to your comments. I know y'all want to talk. Oh, my gosh. Y'all out here cooking. Let's get to our members first. Here we go. Malik Corday? Carode? Sorry if I destroyed your name, but I do appreciate you becoming a new member. Grady Baby Apparel, we appreciate you for becoming a member. Jeremy, thank you so much for becoming a member. Okay? Kirk Davis. Rex can eat a hot dog. I'm sure he's had a lot of hot dogs at this day. Chris Harper, what's up? The real question is, should be asking if he was that bad and lazy and disliked that much, why don't they just not cut him since he's a 5th round pick? Because they know he's not a real 5th round pick and they know he can play. As simple as that. You could be in a situation, Chris, where, and I explain this a lot, when you become a franchise quarterback, essentially what happens once you become a franchise quarterback is you become the other people's bosses. And if he becomes a franchise quarterback, the coach is expendable. The general manager is you got a franchise quarterback. That's the only thing that matters. And would you rather have a franchise quarterback that you chose, that talks the same way you do, sees the life the same way, or somebody who's a wild card? I'm going to go with, I would be willing to wager they do not want him to become their boss de facto. How desperate to keep talking to him and he's not. They need them clicks by any means necessary, Miss Bell. We're going to get them too. They're going to get them. Big Snacks Pack. What's up, Big Snack? What's up? I appreciate you. Appreciate the super chat. Monty Berry. Thank you so much for becoming a member. We appreciate you, Monte. Kirk Davis. If they got a program with Shedeur Sanders 12, then stop going to his locker. Oh, that's right. They want views. So they have no other choice but to interview my guy 12. Forget Rex Ryan and Cam and anyone else who has to disrespect Shedeur Sanders 12. Yeah, they be doing. I watch with that stuff, with the clown stuff. I try to be very respectful. As you notice, I try very difficult. I don't even certain words that are put in super chats. I try not to do. When I'm talking about my colleagues, I try not to say different things like that. I can disagree with you, but without attacking your character. I can disagree with you without attacking. And I believe that sometimes people in the media get a little too comfortable, man. You shouldn't be running around here calling people clowns, bro. Like, that's like, I mean, it ain't like you called them out their name, but I just don't, as men, I find it better to go about making my point a different way, because you might have to see somebody one day. I mean, people got kids, people got family members, and they real protective about people's names. So I try not to get into that. Respectfully. Big Stack 12 has the best game this season so far. That's facts. That's crazy. The game, by the way, the game against the Panthers is the best Cleveland Browns offense I've seen. Refuted. My girl ain't, hey, listen, my wife, she ain't seen no more throws after that. She done reverted back to watching Baltimore. Now Lamar Jackson hurt. She up here mad. She'd actually say, you not play Shedeur Sanders. I know what. Yeah, she done got caught up in the car. I'm like, dang, we used to sit around and watch TV, babe. Remember we used to watch the 4 o'clock game? What happened? No, I'm upset. Browns not play Shador. I know watch. I've never seen a Filipino auntie. She's a Filipino CU auntie. Through and through. I'd not be able to wear my Shedeur jersey. They messed me up. She be hurt. She be hurt game days. I'm like, bro, it's okay. You gonna get some tick. You can only get some playing time. Just calm down. Stay tuned. You think when 12 on the field is Kevin fired and Reese calls the plays, or Kevin stay even if Dylan does bad? Oh no, they're not gonna listen. Nah, I'm gonna make him. I'm gonna make him take the walk of shame. Kevin's not getting out of this. You're gonna call these plays the whole season for all quarterbacks that's on the roster. Nope. You did that same garbage with Deshaun Watson and DTR and what's the name? Jameis Winston. Don't give up the book now, Kevin. We're not gonna do that. And Tommy Reese has nothing to do with this. This is Kevin Stefanski's offense, front row and center. Yoshi Doshi, thank you so much for the super chat. All quarterbacks can get balls batted down too. I don't like Gabriel because he wasn't impressive to me. Seems like a good man, a finished product. Hope he wins. There you go. See, I like that energy right there. Listen, I don't need to see one person play bad to say I think another person is good. I hope he throws for 500 yards or something crazy. You know what? I've been old enough and mature enough to understand that what's in the works is in the works. Whatever the plan is, and only the man upstairs understands that. So what good is it have to do for me to hate that another dude don't play well? I can have my opinion in order, but see, unlike rest of the people, unlike some of my brethren in the industry, I'm not actively rooting against the other quarterback. I don't actively have to go and just make derogatory statements about the guy's height or how bad of a player I think he is. Or nah, that ain't what it is. That ain't what it is. Miss Bell says, I need 5 minutes in the room with this guy. He's a clown. I get a dissertation about clown. Miss Bell saying, listen, I'm going to give him what he gave him. I'm standing up for my guy. Patrick Williams, thank you so much for the super chat. In order for the Browns to be relevant, they got to keep Shedor's name in the mix. That's why it's disingenuous. You be seeing how people be looking. It'd be wild, bro. I'm like, come on. You just went on a mini rant about a guy that didn't even play, who's not even in the news cycle. Nobody even interviewed him. What are you talking about? You should be embarrassed. You're crazy, bro. Maria S., thank you so much for becoming a member. We appreciate you. Larry Fournier. Keep cooking, G. Bush. I don't know who Isaac the Kid is. Well, Larry says, keep cooking. And I'm going to continue to cook then. Adam Schefter lied on Lamar Jackson during the collusion stuff. He was really insensitive when it came to Dwayne Haskins, too. Hey, man, I need you to do some reports, Adam. You've been doing a lot lately these last couple of years. I don't know if I don't know if you think you got podcasts or something, bro. I'm like, when did the Chris Mortensen, I don't remember Chris Mortensen calling nobody no clown. I just don't remember that. That's part of the job responsibility now. I don't know, bro. Just saying. Jermaine Dow. These folks act like straight garden tools, but can't take accountability for their own words when you press them. They be all of a sudden, they didn't, such a big man. You're a big man for saying that. Bro, you didn't have no problem saying that when you was saying what you were saying on the sticks. You can't stand on it. It's all kind of big bag dudes that be, and then all of a sudden, that's why I try to live a carefree life. I am not about to be out here running around from nobody. Like, if you want to come at me, I didn't call you out your name. I didn't say nothing inflammatory. If I talk about you, it's your game. And I keep it to the game. I don't talk about your family, what you look like. I'm not going to fat shame you. I'm not going to do none of that. I'm going to just talk about your game. That's right there. So that's how we moving. Nathaniel Lasik. Bush, I need you to address Roger Goodell telling Shedeur he's worried about his father. Nobody addressed the statement before the draft. Well, here's how I'll get to it. Nathaniel, we appreciate the super chat. There's always when you outside of the matrix, and what I say outside of the matrix, the most damaging person is one of the most dangerous people in the world is a person who is independently wealthy, doesn't have any skeletons in their closet, is unapologetically truthful, stands on business, and is not trying to join a club and is already who they were when they got here. The reason why Prime is so threatening to people is because A, he's a man of God. B, he raised his family the same way and he taught them not to stand up for what you stand up in. He got the bag. He's one of the greatest of all time. You can't dispel it. You can't say nothing about it. It is what it is. He played 2 sports. One of the greatest athletes of our generation of all time. And he gonna do it his way. The same thing that in our country we applaud people for. The Steve Jobs, we applaud. We applaud trailblazers in our lives. The Andrew Carnegies, the Benjamin Franklins, the Versaces, and all of the people that made names for themselves, the marketers, the guys that made a bunch of money, the guys that made it look cool, the guys who extended and branded at a high level. We tell everybody that is what the American dream is, except when it comes to him. Why? That's always going to be a little scary, because when the perception is that they don't need you, the perception is I don't need you to stamp me. You can't unstamp Prime. Here's how crazy Prime got it locked. Before Prime was even Prime, everybody wanted number 21. If you 21 as a defensive back was it. Everybody wanted Prime shoes. They were so famous, they just dropped them and just re-released them. And everybody in the league wear them. And he a football player. When you got that much kind of pull, how much pull you got to have Hall of Famers like Marshall Faulk say, I'm on the roster. Warren Sapp, come let me coach with you. Huh? It's in the pudding. And he circumvented the ways that people wanted. Back in the day, how you going to tell Marshall Faulk that he got to start at a JUCO or a Division III school if he want to coach? That's Marshall Faulk. What some dude that start, no disrespect, that was a graduate assistant at OU that went to how you gonna tell him what football play is like as a running back, and it's Marshall Faulk in the greatest show on turf? What can I tell the defensive? What can a defensive line coach tell Warren Sapp about defensive line play? But how the game work is, we want you gonna go through our route. How is Ivy League dudes that never played, that been pistol pushers, that got TI 86s, how are those guys? Those are the guys with all the good jobs. Those are the GMs. Same reason they're the same CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, and Ford and Intel and Exxon, wherever you want to go. They're also all of the politicians. They just happen to just keep going to every sector and just keep getting it done. But you know what Prime did? Under no circumstances, get that out of here. Y'all gonna come get D1 right now. You ain't got to go to JUCO. I did that. So hopefully you don't have to go through that. Like Jay-Z said, like I told you to sell drugs. No. Oh, did that. So hopefully you don't have to go through that. I had to go to the HBCUs, right? I had to start at high school, go to the HBCUs, and then get we fast tracking people. They didn't move the goalposts, they just smooth took them down. There you go, Miss Bell. Listen, when they came, remember what I say? They said, no. They pulled them goalposts down. Get moving them. We got to move them back too far. Just get rid of them. And moving the goalposts completely down means that they just don't want to see him play. At the end of the day, we are now to a point where we can just talk and have a conversation because people have been saying it. And I've been slowly trickling the information. They just don't want to see him play. It's point back period. This is what it is. They just don't want to see him play. Now they're comfortable enough to say it because now the reality of him being one play away is devastating to him. The reality of the plan we had. Now, if Dillon Gabriel goes out of this game, who's playing? You can't go to Flacco. You want to have there'll be a mutiny on your hands if you try to pull a Bailey Zappi. I mean, what way do you really want to say that we just are screwed up? Yeah. They took them posts down. When is last time the Browns scored 30 points and won? Exactly. Also, Sean Merriman has an interview with Kay Adams exposing the first round talk. Okay. Shout out to Lights Out. He be on UCSS. All that first round talk be crazy to me. It goes to it goes to the perception of it. See, you need people in there that ain't going on analytics. They're going on gut. I don't care if I drafted all these quarterbacks and I drafted one in the third round and he ain't really good, and one in the fifth round and he better than the third one. I'm still playing the one in the fifth. I drafted all these quarterbacks. I get credit for all of them. They're so short-minded, they don't understand that. I keep going to the cheesecakes. I bought one cheesecake at Giant Eagle, right? I want the best cheesecake. I went to Walmart and got another cheesecake. I taste both pieces, a little piece. Obviously, the Walmart cheesecake was destroying the Giant Eagle cheesecake. But you telling me I got to eat the Giant Eagle cheesecake because I bought it first? I bought both of them. I bought the Giant Eagle and the Walmart. I'm picking which one I want to eat. How short-sighted do you got to be like, you know what? I got to stick to my guns. I'm going to eat this Wednesday cheesecake because I got it first, fool. They all my cheesecakes. I'm going to eat them when I want them. Diarrheas of a fat kid. That's me. Let's say that Rex said it's true. Why would the Browns keep a fifth-round pick that isn't taking things seriously on any other team? He'd be cut. There you go. There you go. We starting to cook a little bit. Now, this is why I like it over here. I like it over here because we ask very pertinent questions. We do our own thinking over here. If we was correct and it's a fifth-round pick that has been so disruptive, don't know his playbook, running around getting speeding tickets, doing the most, being arrogant, why did they keep him and not Kenny Pickett? Maybe because it ain't true. But you love Kenny Pickett. They told us every single day how much they loved him. Every single beat reporter told us how much they love Kenny Pickett. Every single last one of them told us that he should be the starter. Every single last person until he was traded. Because it's not true. Now we're cooking with gas. To demean and belittle somebody daily, and his coach only says he's almost ready daily, if not inspirational. What is it? What this would break most folks. This is the fuel that's coming with it. The fuel is coming with it. Somebody is going at you consistently, hammering you, never letting you sleep, demeaning your family, demeaning your skill set, marginalizing you, playing in your face. You just keep going to practice. You keep working. You keep working. You keep working. When you hit it big, nobody can say nothing. When you really get it going, see, sometimes when you're going through something, God got to leave you at a point where you take everything away. Your family, your friends, your spouse, your money, your health, your job. Think about this. The man's father is a cancer survivor. You know how many people is affected by cancer and an amount of love and respect people got? Media didn't even bat an eye. This young man stayed at home, told his father he's battling cancer. And he said, no, I got to handle it over here and get my stuff together and play. This is how deep it go. That's how deep it go. If it was anybody else, you know what it'd be? A Hallmark national media movie. It would have been a camera in front of everybody's face every other day about how Shedeur Sanders is continuing on in his father's name, how Shedeur Sanders, throughout adversity, continues to keep his head to the ground. They don't even talk about none of that. They don't care about none of that. Again, they don't care about no wins, losses, none of that stuff. But the one thing that they got to realize is when it hit, if and when he plays, they ain't going to have no legs to stand on. I wonder how many interviews they're going to get. None. Actually, he's pretty good at that. He even gives them interviews even though they be playing around. Right? Paid bum. You're not a bum to us. You're not a bum to us. We appreciate you for keeping it 100, man, with this Shedeur situation. I find it bigger than the Shedeur situation. This is microcosm of what we go through in society. This is part of, this is a case study, right? What I do is try to tell stories through sports and give you something with life with it. This is a case study in understanding how things are painted. Stefanski's stubbornness is why the in-game adjustment sucks. We never get answers. He never answers the media's questions, and why Shedeur isn't quarterback number 2 this week. He can't handle high-profile quarterbacks, just career quarterback number 2 guys. Sometimes when we talk about when you work at corporate America, we do what we call it is DISC analysis, and it's personality assessments that they give to show which people's ideas and personalities match. A lot of times people feel like as long as the messaging is correct, that everybody should mesh and get along, but that's not the case. In your personality type, you have certain biases and hidden things that make it difficult for you to receive messages, right? If I'm a dominant personality, a person that usually tells instead of asks, and I'm an executive, but another one of the executives is a person who's a very he's a conservative, introspective type person that does not communicate like often, is not outgoing, is basically a person that is a little more to themselves. Me as a dominant person, my message and the facts that I'm spitting to you is presented in a way where that person can't even accept it, because all that they're seeing is dominant, over aggressive. And to a conservative person, a person that's like an introvert, that's going to come off as being brash, and I'm not going to get what I need to get out of it. The same way, if a person is giving a PowerPoint presentation and an analytical person is giving a PowerPoint presentation to a person that's more of a emoting person, or a person who is more outgoing or has emotions, that's I would say probably a motivator. To me, an analytic person is boring. I'm a person that wants to be around people. I'm a person that's outgoing. So the numbers that they're giving to me ain't gonna work. It was just numbers. So it's important to understand the audience that you have and understand what your blind spots are. Because if you're an offensive coordinator, the language you need to speak to each other is football. If my football language is based in conservative and introvert, and I'm talking to a quarterback who's an extrovert, that's emoting, that's charismatic, it's going to be a disconnect, because everything you're trying to tell me is about conservative and don't throw the football away. I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to score touchdowns. What do you want to do? Not score touchdowns or score touchdowns? But that's why it got to be married. And yes, it can work, but you both have to work on your messaging. You have to work on the ability to do that. For the first time, Kevin says something about Shedeur. It's because he knows Gabriel is not really ready, and he needs Shedeur to save him. Well, he's going to have to start turning his attention to Shedeur Sanders, is not? He's going to have to start turning his attention to Shedeur Sanders, because the reality is that everybody's uneasy about is, dang, this kid is going to play. And ready or not, like the Fuji say, ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. I'm going to find you. Hey, ready or not, we on the scene. Yoshi Doshi, reality is simple. Gabriel's a guy that made his career moving around and being stable. Now he's getting his shot. If he fails, Shedeur gets his. Don't fail. Dillon Gabriel did play in 3 offenses. I find it funny how people no one ever has talked about the fact that he did play in 3 different offenses at Power 5 schools. That is a thing, Yoshi Doshi. Like, to some people, they would use that as a negative, wouldn't they? Keith Williams, we appreciate you becoming a member. Beautifully Blessed, thank you so much for becoming a member, part of the family. Miss Bell, Otto needs to retire his tap shoes and grow some. It hurt my heart. It hurt my heart when I seen that, Miss Bell. I couldn't believe he said that. When somebody said, I said, I couldn't believe he said that. Sapper Daddy, all money ain't good money. It sure ain't. It really not. This is Kamu the Quiet Warrior. I like that name. This is Beyond Cleveland. This is an NFL flex, simply put. I believe the NFL is doing this and sent him to Cleveland on purpose. The stupidity and bad quarterback handling would be questioned with any other team other than Cleveland. By the way, people praise Jackson Dart. Can you imagine? Like people saying, well, they wanted Dylan Gabriel, Flacco, and Pickett. That's who they wanted. That should have been a problem right there. We should have stopped, full stop. There's the problem. You thought that was the answer? Who cares what you want? Sometimes as an adult, when a kid wants something, you have to come to the, hey, listen. I know you want to eat ice cream every single day, but let me tell you why you shouldn't. I've been living a little bit longer than you. It ain't gonna work out for you, dog. But this is what you was doing? Come on. Wisdom Speaks, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Yoshi Doshi, Sanders plays the Browns #1 D. Daily thoughts. He mentioned that in a conversations in a comment a couple of weeks ago about the fact that he's now playing the Browns starting defense with Greg Newsome, Carson Schlesinger. He's playing Myles Garrett, and he's getting pressure every single day. Denzel Ward is on the opposite side of the field. And the good thing about it is, if you want to play scout team, like I tell a story all the time about when I came and got redshirted. And I was probably the #1 recruit, one of the highest recruits Ohio had ever had. We had won 2 state championships. And when I went to OU, I had a chip on my shoulder. I was coming in to prove it. I'm like, oh, y'all don't think I ain't that nice? Here, let's get it. Y'all gonna have to see me every Tuesday. So what I used to do is I used to take my scout team opportunities as a guy that was going out there, and those were my games. When they said, hey, we want to redshirt you, I thought it was disrespectful. I thought it was the most, because I said, I'm better than everybody you got right now. How am I going to be the #1 recruit? I said, okay. I said, all right. Scout team game came around. I told my coach, I said, listen, Tuesdays, I'm going full bore. These is my football games. And every Tuesday, I'm going to make y'all realize that this was the worst decision of your lifetimes. Because I'm playing physical. They like, listen, you can't hit quarterbacks like that. Sure, I can. But you want me to run? I'm in shape now. I'll run, come back, and still hit quarterbacks. I'm trying to get ready. And so Shedeur Sanders, I know he out there going in. I know he out there using that as an example. I'm playing against the best defense in the world. One of the best defenses in the world. Come on now. I'm about to use that to my advantage, bro. I love the fact that I'm on scout team. I'm getting better every day. Sapper Daddy, it's either you stand on your values and principles or you sell your soul for the dollar. That's the era we live in. The soul is the most valuable thing you possess in this life. Super facts. You know, so crazy. Even people, you know, I believe that your soul lives for eternity. The rest of this stuff falls away. This little temporary 80 years, whatever you're blessed if you get 70-something years on this earth. You got to make the best of it. But reality is, I see this little quote on Instagram, everything that you got, that you own today, is just borrowed. You don't own that. That car you got will be somebody else's. Eventually, the house you done bought or purchased will become somebody else's. The clothing, even your legacy. Your legacy lasts a couple generations. People be going crazy doing all kind of stuff. My legacy in this world. Hey, listen, your legacy is about 2 generations. Tell me something about your great-grandfather. I got a niece right now. I got a niece. My grandfather, she knows nothing about. She ain't even seen a picture. She 4 years old. She ain't seen a picture of my grandfather. All the notes, all the stuff that he told me, all of the wisdom, all of that he passed down, that's in here for me. That's why people always say how powerful it is when you say, pass it forward. I never really caught what that meant because a lot of the stuff that we live and learn from our grandparents, some of our elders, we let that die a generation ago. Who gonna be able to pass that forward? Who giving that wisdom? That real game. So the only way your legacy doesn't die is that you need to continue to instill it into another person, and they mix what they got, their experiences with what you got. That's how you grow generationally. But just that regular stuff, my legacy, your legacy is only as good as what you then gave it to somebody else. My legacy. That don't work. Your soul is forever. Lee. NFL can't hurt 12's pockets, so they attack his spirit. This is why. This is why over in these parts, we don't be just talk. We really be talking. It ain't a coincidence when we talk about spirit, soul, all these things. We talk deep over here. It's deep talk over here. We ain't just trying to talk. Listen, and this ain't no disrespect. If you coming over here to try to get you some fantasy football, who should I start or sit? It don't be like that. I'm sorry, bro. I don't wish you no bad, but we talk heavy over here. You know what I'm saying? Over here, we talk about real things that matter. We want to talk about some stuff that get you through a couple bad weeks. That's what we want to get to. If I know, everybody in the league knows, sit in front of the class, stop being an embarrassment, says a non-coach on national TV. Says it sounds like defamation and admittance to knowledge of collusion. But here's the thing. The great part about this is when he said that, the receipts came on right back. Don't be an embarrassed. He actually embarrassed himself because on this platform, we showed exactly where Shedeur Sanders was. And it also proves the point to the fact that people say a bunch of stuff, don't stand on it because it don't be true. Why are we trying to act like people don't be straight up lying? People are straight, listen. You know what I mean? People get put under oath and then I told you for years and weeks that they didn't do something and they have to come back and say they did it. Let me ask you this. People be telling the media wouldn't lie. What is the consequences of just making it up? I have sources. Sure you do. If you can't tell nobody who they are and you'll never disclose them, what is the purpose of saying what is the downside of lying about them? How are we ever going to find out if you tell the truth? We aren't. You just have the bully pulpit, which is the television, and millions of people who watch you who say, well, if you weren't special, you wouldn't be up there. If you weren't credible, you wouldn't be on TV. If you weren't plugged in, you wouldn't be on that platform. I beg to differ. Sometimes they just make it up. Jimmy Cleveland, thank you so much for becoming a member. 75UXU, thank you for the super sticker. Reverend BJ Nelson, thank you so much, my sir, for becoming a member. We appreciate you. Blessings to you for truth telling and the haircut. Of course, I got you. I keep the clippers with me. It's back here. 3,181 people over Facebook, YouTube, UCSS, Barbershop channel, and Twitter. Hit that like button wherever you're at. Come on now. Ain't nobody cooking like this. It's Saturday morning. Everybody else sleep. We cooking. I told you we had one. Sapper Daddy, on Sunday, we will find out who's who. The media was spending all week and moving them goalposts talking about winning isn't the goal. It isn't the goal for this game. Hey, that's why we broadcast loud and clear. Of course it's the game. Of course it is. And I need you to take them screenshots too, because I'm guessing that if Shador does play, all of a sudden the standards will be back. all of a sudden winning matters. Kind of how like he played well the first game, and in the second game they say this is the reason he's a 5th-round pick. Yeah, we know that. We got him. We're gonna see. And by the way, nobody over here has hated on Dillon Gabriel once. Have we seen any hate in the chat? No. We want to see it. That's all we was asking for. We just want to see. That's it. Quiet warrior in the building again. NFL would crumble if black players left and to form their own league. Tired of being misunderstood, getting paid too much, though, players wouldn't sacrifice. Oh, no. Yeah. Asking people in the NFL to turn down generational money ain't going to be it. You know what I always thought? And here's how I do it. What I do is how I move is if you're going to work in the machine, and I ain't going to, and by the way, it ain't nothing wrong with working for somebody. It ain't nothing wrong for going out and get your bag wherever you can get it. I just understand what you're getting into when you're there. And any changes that you want to make in the world, you got to do it on an individual basis. I know it's a lot of things going on out here where people get all unruly and start being upset and all that other stuff. And look what's going on today, G. Bush. But here's a good thing. You could be the change you want to see on a very small level. And guess what? I'm talking about the day-to-day level. There's all kind of things you can do. I go to the prisons. I go talk to youths. I go to schools. I talk to kids. I donate my time. I donate my money to local charities. I do it, and I don't got to tell nobody. But I know I'm doing my part the way I should, right? Much is given, much is required. My little small little part. Because you can't go crazy trying to conquer the whole machine. And the machine been here since the beginning of time. Part is you realize what role you can play in the other machine to make an everyday choice on a everyday difference on a smaller level. Dillon was Big Ten MVP, Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year, Big Ten Quarterback of the Year, and finished 3rd in Heisman voting. He's a baller. Hey, Jamie, I seen all that. I watched Dillon Gabriel intimately, right? I seen him all. We covered, look, we covered all the games for the Big Ten, right? Here's what I'm saying. I want to see him go out there and do it. Am I rooting against Dillon Gabriel? Nope. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. Why would I do that? If he go out there and kill it, I'm going to come back on here on Sunday. You pull up on me, Jamie, I offer you. If Dillon Gabriel comes on here and he balls out tomorrow, I want you to come personally pull up first and say, G. Bush, remember what you said. You said that if he balled out, that you was going to say it. Be a man of your word. And I'll tell you what I'm going to say. You're right, Jamie. I offer it. Come on back. See, that's the difference. Now I dare my other people in the industry to say the same thing about Shedeur Sanders. And I find it funny because it'd be tough. I mean, there I said it. He balled out. I said it. All right. I mean, it was okay. I mean, it'd be painfully obvious, don't it? It's preseason. It doesn't matter. But you sure like, telling you. You tell me. Perry TD Chatham, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate you as well. Wildebeest Davenport. I can't stand the Goliath back triple neck glazing Jason Whitlock or Whitlock. Well, it's Whitlock. His takes are always to put a black man down. I just want Shador to get a fair shake waiting on his perfect timing. Yeah, I done been on his show before. I mean, it was after the DeMar Hamlin thing. And he brought me on there and he started talking about, he started talking about COVID conspiracies. It was wild work. I'm like, bro, I thought we was talking about somebody who died on the football field. What are you talking? Man, you'd be surprised what you got to do. These dudes be losing shows and they used to a certain lifestyle and they just, I don't know, man. They just go crazy doing extra. You don't got to do extra like that. Brody's bottom line, my man, we appreciate you. The Browns have 2 good rookie quarterbacks, but Kevin realized this. Here we go, Brodies. We're going to figure out this right now. We're going to figure it out. You know what we're going to figure out? What Kevin's talking about with this offense. Because I'm going to be intimately watching what you're doing over there. He better have that game plan jumping. Nancy says, gee, the one to blame for all this is Kevin because he's never even mentioned 12's name. So he's allowed the media to fill their own narratives of why. They can see his talent, so he's doing something wrong, lazy and dumb. This is very impactful. If I drafted both of them, and this is why Kevin Stefanski is not very, again, being a coach is not just about X's and O's. Being a coach is about understanding human nature and getting people to get to be their best versions of themselves. If Kevin Stefanski came out and said, listen, we got 2 great quarterbacks, 2 young great quarterbacks. We are blessed. Spoiled riches. We are spoiled by what we have at quarterback. Dillon Gabriel, super smart, very accurate, stronger arm than a lot of people give him credit for, played in a lot of games in college football, really mature, does a great job of getting us in and out of the plays. I really like Dillon Gabriel as a player. I think he's going to be a player in this league. But Shedeur Sanders, he's charismatic. The team just really follows him. They'll run through a brick wall for him. Again, one of the most accurate quarterbacks we've seen coming out of college. He just finds a way. I just like how he subtly moves in the pocket. He's a guy who's extremely accurate, good zip on the ball, good velocity, and I think his touch on the deep ball is some of the best we've seen in a long time coming out of the draft. You know, guys, listen, we're excited about both of these young men. We're going to try to put them in the best situation to go out here and to perform well. But listen, I love these dudes. I like both their skill sets, and we're going to go out, and I think we're going to be the future is bright for the Cleveland Browns. It's so easy that a podcaster can do it. I'm not nobody's coach. Why can't you say that? Everybody can get behind that. The players, the media, the locker room. You've come out and established that you like both of them. You are attached to both of them. You've established that they have different skill sets. Neither one is more admirable than the other. You admit the fact that you are happy to have both of them, and you're going to put them in the best position to win. And that the Cleveland Browns organization and the fan base will be happy to have either one of these players as quarterback. So you know what'll happen? You won't got nobody in the media going crazy doing all this extra stuff talking about the supercomputer versus somebody who's lazy. You wouldn't have any of that. You would step in and become the leader and diffuse things before things even got to a point. But you can't do it. This is the reason why they choose wisely who your CEO is. Because you have to be more than the X's and O's, more than a cat person. You have to be a wordsmith. You have to be a person that understands human philosophy, understands human nature. And then what you do if you come out and say that, guess what you got? A motivated Dillon Gabriel and a motivated Shedeur Sanders, and they're not cat fighting, and they're not throwing subliminals, and you bring them in behind the scenes and say, guys, this is going to be a competition. But what I want you to do is remember, we all teammates. We're going to keep that tucked away. Competition is good, but we're not going to backbite. We're not going to ankle bite. We're not going to do none of that. We're going to put you in position. I want you to act accordingly when they put them cameras in front of your face, because the first thing they're going to try to do is divide and conquer. Understand that. I'm going to tell you that before you get out there. But we're going to compete, and we're going to compete hard. But I don't want none of that. You see what happens if you set an expectation level, you move behind it, and you can roll with it? But we don't do that. We it ain't that hard, folks. It ain't. It really ain't. It's either whether or not you cut out to do it or you not. He could use this whole thing to his advantage, but he can't. He's too short-sighted. Don't have the people skills. Don't have the people skills. The most brilliant generals get their people the patents, right? We talk about Hannibal on this show. Those who can move generals and the common man, Alexander the Great. Why do you think when you used to be a general, you used to have to stand in front of the line with the horse? And they said, I'm going to rally the troops from the front. Now, there's a chance you can get, you're in harm's way. But your men fight so much more fiercely because they know you got the same amount of skin in the game as they do. Look at, hey, he the general. He could be back there in camp eating crackers and summer sausage and cheese and wine, laid up with fine linens. But he out here on the front trenches with a horse, with arrows coming at him. It's cold, it's muddy, it's rainy. We've been fighting for 15 to 16 days in a row. We ain't slept, but he out here with us. That little boost of energy is different. But you got to be a leader, though. I'm just saying. I know I got kind of long-winded. I think Dillon will look great on Sunday compared to Flacco. The running game will be at its better also. They may even win. However, if they gave Shedeur a chance with the ones, it's going to be lights out. Made by live. Yeah. Hey, I know. Hey, you get to that point. You can't put him with that stimulus package with the ones. What happened when Jerry Jeudy started to look like Jerry Jeudy? With a Quinshon Judkins run game? I ain't seen him throw a ball to Fanning yet. I ain't seen Shedeur Sanders to Judkins yet. I ain't seen a Shedeur Sanders to Njoku all summer, and I'll be here. Made by Life, thank you so much for becoming a member. We appreciate you so much. Quiet Warrior in the building. Imagine hip-hop was a league being ran by white folk instead of the folk who created it. Crazy to think. That's how NFL execs thinks about black folks. Well, actually, to be truthful, I think rap is ran by that. It's why, your best MCs ain't commercial. They done watered it down to a point now. I mean, like, you got Black Thought, Nas, Tribe Called Quest. I mean, these guys is like, you talk about groundbreaking. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays the mainstream media does run hip hop. People question whether hip hop is dead. KRS-One, Rakim. We can keep going. All the old heads stand up. Big Daddy Kane, Cube. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. Project Leroy. With DG starting, the NFL media narrative will change to he needs better weapons. He has Jeudy and Njoku, Fanning, Bond, Thrash, Judkins, Sampson. Yet they will say they are all not good enough. Oh, that's a thing too. The goalposts, forget moving. They just started just tear them down and just remove them. They going for 2 at this point. But they also will use that same thing to say if he plays well, that he makes his players around him better, and Joe Flacco didn't. So it's one of them things where it's a literary tool where it works that way. It worked that way. William Wise, LOI or TI-86 in the pocket protectors. Man, them TI-86, man, got them trapper keepers running around here with abacuses, just random diagramming wheels. Just, come on, man. I don't like the word adjacent either. And that always got me. Math facts, why don't you just say next to, bro? I don't like adjacent like that. Bradley Fox, G, I'm like you, bro. I hope Dylan plays well. Shedeur is my guy. I've been watching, hung his dad and his family hung with his dad and his family my whole life. There it is. We can have two things at once. See how we doing it over here at the barbershop? I'll be back on Sunday, 1:30. G. Bush gonna break it down. I need y'all. Be back. Listen, that show about to break numbers. Either way, that show gonna break numbers. Adam Schefter is in an NFL plant. Why try to bring discord between the Browns rookies? Let them compete in peace and stop the owner's hidden agenda. Neil Gray. See how it be? Let's compete. Have you ever seen this before? I have never seen, like, somebody draft somebody and they literally actively go about like tearing them. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, people be actively yelling and screaming like this dude. I'm like, what did he do to you? It's wild work. Nancy, Jay Thomas, Bernie, both said 12 has a higher ceiling. All people think that. I mean, to a certain extent, most people think coming out of college, if they were talking about him being the number 2 overall pick, Mel Kiper had him as the number 1 quarterback. I've never, like, it's not a knock to Dylan Gabriel, but it's wild. I started, Nehemiah Salters. Thank you so much for the super chat. Started noticing the slander against Shedeur with Rex Ryan. But when Mina Kime says the same slanderous statements as well, I was like, okay, I see the ESPN play. Well, you got to choose a side. There's 2 ways you can go about it. First of all, understand that this is a different climate. People are not into telling the news. That's never what they've been. It's about being an opinion. Look at the biggest podcasters and the guys who get the most clicks. Shannon Sharp, Ocho Cinco, The Pivot, Ryan Clark. You have Cam Newton, right? Even guys like Stephen A. Smith now doing the opinion stuff. The biggest podcast, Pat McAfee. You got to have opinions and strong ones. You can't be in the middle on it. You can't be in the middle on it. The algorithm don't like that. The algorithm is going for the word clown. They're going for hating. They're going for bum. They're going for trash. Those are the words that the algorithm looking for. And if you part of the ESPN program and family networks, how you going to get in the algorithm when these is the top dudes and you up there still doing let's break down this matchup. I think the winner of this football game is going to hold the football and possess the time of advantage and make sure they limit the turnovers. And I think when you look at it and you take a look at Jim Harbaugh and what he does, I'm not trying to hear none of that. The algorithm don't like that. So guess what you need? You think they're not in them production meetings being like, we got to come up. This got to be, this ain't it. This ain't it. You got to bring something. That's what you got on Shedeur Sanders? Well, we can talk about Dylan Gabriel starting. Do you think the algorithm cares about that? No. That's why the conversation started with Rex Ryan and jumped from Rex Ryan not talking about Joe Flacco or Dylan Gabriel being a starter. It was Shedeur Sanders should be embarrassed by himself. He should be embarrassed. If I know it, the whole league knows it. Come on. I'm giving you game. We talked about this on the Wednesday night tea session. Members know We talked about how predictable this was. By Thursday, I said, oh boy. Members know. We was in there talking like, yeah, it's coming. They put the stimulus package out. Sarita Allen, Prime got so much power. Who faces on the Dallas Cowboys documentary on Netflix? There you go. It could have been Irvin, Smith, Aikman, etc. No, it's Dion. The Sanders are shakers and movers. No one looking at the Browns if it wasn't for Shedeur. One of my colleagues, I'ma said it. Shout out to the chat. The numbers is looking good. I'm trying to tell y'all. Made by love. Stefanski and Barry will likely be exposed completely this weekend. He is banking his career on this weekend's decision. Tom Brady may have enlightened us. Head coach, hashtag 25, out of loading. This is how I know you be watching the program, because you just dipped back into, see, we get the receipts. Tom Brady said, how you know these dudes is nice? How you know they nice? You ranked all the quarterbacks 1 through 32. Why don't we rank offensive coordinators and coaches the same way? What if I got the number 25 head coach and the number 31 rated offensive coordinator? Woo. This is why. This is why we do what we do right here. If you know, you know. If you're in the know, right? If you know, you know. I appreciate y'all. 3,150 people in here. We've been cooking for hours. We overtime. We overtime. They keep sending them. I'm going to keep talking. We got to give you your money's worth. Got to. David Alexander, thank you so much for becoming a member. Yoshi Doshi, you are correct. Gabriel has seen a lot. He has. He been out there. He played like 70 games or something crazy. Neil Gray, how ironic that it will come down to either Shedeur or Dillon to save Stefanski or Barry's jobs. Imagine if they had started Dillon instead of... Been saying that, Neil. We've been talking that. Why would you wait? Can you imagine where they might have been by now? Why did we waste all them games with Joe? We ain't even need to do that. We had to go that route. Huh? Makes no sense. Do it. Made by love. What are your thoughts on wide receivers drops and tons of passes across the league? Good defense or just bad wide receiver play? Can the Browns improve this season? I think these guys just simply don't play enough. When you're in the preseason, the thing that my coach said at OU, and I'll give him credit for it. Shout out to Coach Eric Washington. I believe he's the defensive coordinator. Is he? Let me see where he at. He's my dude. Let's see. There we go. Here's my guy. Coach Eric Washington. We got to just make sure where he at. Just to get my nice little name drop. He currently serves as defensive line coach for the New York Jets. He's previously served as defensive line coach for the Buffalo Bills, defensive coordinator at Carolina Panthers, and defensive line coach for the Bears. So Coach Washington was under the coaching of the great Eddie Robinson and Grambling. And he was the coach. He coached me when I got to OU. And Coach Washington took a special liking to me, which meant like he took this dude was just all on me, bro. He said, you got what it takes to go to the league. But you need some polishing. Yeah, I was one of them. Of course, I was one that was, I was walking to the beat of my own drum. Me and Shador had a lot of things in common. I like to look good. I like to play good. I like to be flashy. I like to talk my stuff. But Coach Washington said something. He said, you got to play at a pace and a speed that either your opponent is unwilling to do or is physically unable to consistently sustain. I was like, what I mean? He said, that's you have to play at a speed in which it is so uncomfortable for your opponent to match that speed that they won't do it and they quit, or that you are willing to do it at a speed that is so daunting that they just can't physically sustain it. So that means you break them mentally and physically and emotionally. He said, in order to do that, you have to practice like that. In order to play at that speed at all times, you must play at that. You must live at that speed. You must live at that speed. And to do that, you got to practice like that. Walkthroughs fast, practice fast, two-a-days fast, conditioning's fast, lifting fast, all the time. And nowadays, people don't do that. Training camps is about people just sitting around trying to figure out how not to get hurt. And instead of conditioning their bodies to get to a point where you're not worried about it like that. See what I'm saying? You're not worried about it like that because you already conditioned to do it. I think they need to be practicing and playing more in preseason. Does that mean more injuries going to happen? Yes. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do? You got to play that way. And I think not playing at that speed doesn't put you in the perspective, the speed to back up when the season comes, because now you got to catch the ball and you getting up to speed with your feet. You're getting up to speed with getting in and out of your routes. You're getting up to speed when it comes to a lot of these other things. Can't do that. Got to be ready to go. And I think them playing more in the preseason will help that. Miss Bell, quiet as kept. They did Dylan dirty, bragging him up, but not playing him until things fell apart. Stefanski egos ruined things. That's another thing too. Stop bringing him in. I didn't like this, Miss Bell. I didn't like the fact that they was bringing this man in when Flacco was playing poorly. If Flacco is playing poorly and he's starting quarterback, keep him out there. Why you keep bringing him in late? Like, come on, bro. It's wild work. What are you doing? Leave him out there. And if Flacco was playing bad enough to come out the game, you should have prepared him to play. It'd be wild. Hey, G. Bush, appreciate you. What you are doing here is educating the people is special. I came here for Shador, but found the gym educating the community. That good wild work. Thank you so much and I appreciate it. That's what we're trying to come do. Like, there's an influx of people that come in here and instead of me having that be threatening, what I tried to do is to come in here and offer something of entertainment, but also education and value, and to show what I'm about. And I think a lot of people that when there was an influx of people who came to support Shedeur, instead of them worried about what it looked like or how this is, they ain't real Browns fans. Like my show is about sports, music, and culture, and about community and about certain things. So my thing was, hey, my door is always open. Come on in, see if you like what you like. Come on in, and I can show you who I am as an individual. It ain't about pandering. It's about opening your doors to people and having a good conversation. And I think a lot of people and content creators, they failed to do that. But then again, I had always realized this too, though. This is what my content is. No knock to somebody else's content. Their content may not be. Some people don't want to delve into God, or they don't want to delve into economics or finance or history lessons. They want to just talk about the Browns, and that's fine. Great, let's talk about them. But my channel is something different, and I just want to embrace people that embrace what my content is. I ain't trying to be nobody else, and I don't expect you to be me. I'm not trying to be you. So that's just where I'm coming from. But I appreciate the fact that you say that, because exactly what I'm trying to do. Alfonso gonna be up here, early on Sunday at 6:30 a.m. to watch that game. Yes, sir, Alfonso. I'm gonna be ready to go. Now, listen, come on over. 1:30, we should be about on ready to go. It's kind of cool because we get to do the rest of our game. It'll be a little early. But hey, man, cheers up to you. I'm gonna be watching with you, tailgating by myself, because I ain't going out like that. Cook the Capo. Next time you on UCSS, please say put him on the practice squad and see how long he's a Brown. Pull their card, G. They ain't stupid. Why would they do that? It's the same. If they was gonna make that move, they would have kept Kenny Pickett and put him on the practice squad. They ain't dumb. Don't get it twisted. They may be short-sighted, but the owner is a salesman, and he wants to be Jerry Jones. Oh, he wants to be Jerry Jones. And the second that he gets the littlest confirmation that Shedeur Sanders can play, he's going to turn this thing into a complete upside-down circus. They're going to cook and cook. Cook. They're going to turn this thing up. Because the owner's going to say, put him in. And then he's going to say, oh, he's the quarterback. Because think about this. If he's getting this much attention right now, he has not thrown any passes. What will it be like when he actually plays in a real game and they win? He balls. The Cleveland Browns overnight become a household name. They already are a household name. Just take the next step, bro. Take the next step. Medic 51. What do you think? What do you think happens with Kevin and AB if they only get 4 wins this year? What if they still look the same next year, 2026 stadium in 2029? Medic 51. 4 wins is diabolical. Here's the thing. I always said, if you get 3 wins, you're in trouble. 3 wins is way too. You can't drop back-to-back 3 wins. That's why people were trying to really push Flacco, right? Because they thought hey, he gives us the best chance to win. And at least if they win 5-6 games, they're cool. 4 wins after this year, one of them got to go. One of them. I suppose that people would probably say it's more like Andrew Berry because of the issues on the offensive line. But 4 wins is nasty work. Now, here's the thing. If they won 4 games and say Dylan Gabriel wins another couple in 1 game, they go like 1-4 or something. But then Shador comes in and wins 2 or 3 more games, but he's throwing the ball and he has some nice games and they look decent. That may save their job because the attention is going to be on, wow, look at what the Cleveland Browns fall into something. Wow, look at. That's why I was always confused with, why would you not play the rookies? If they look half decent, you get yourself an opportunity to take a victory lap while you're still here. They could actually help save your job. Running Flacco out takes away from that. Doggy Bone. The revisionist history is crazy because the Rams game is what they used to diminish Shador. It was 1 quarter with a terrible all line, receivers wearing DB numbers and fifth string tight end, but they forgot he put up 30 points with the 2s. It's a reason why once his arm got hurt and the next game came out, right? He didn't play, right? He didn't get to the next preseason game. They demoted him. And mind you, Dylan Gabriel played horribly against the Eagles. We don't even remember that. We even remember none of that. C.A. Anderson, thank you so much for becoming a member. We appreciate you. Miss Bell, I thought college stats didn't count. But Dylan Gabriel starting, and I keep hearing this college stat. You don't miss nothing, do you? You don't. Your DVR is on 100. No goalposts. And got the clown member. Got the clown member late. Heard. No, you good. Hey, you don't miss nothing, do you? You know what I mean? I'm not trying to create an narrative, but it's very clear that Sanders and Gabriel don't very clear Sanders and Gabriel don't. I think that means don't like each other or don't care for each other. I think that, remember what I said about I gave you that dissertation and what Kevin Stefanski should be doing. He should already nip this in the bud. He should have already been talking that talk. He should have already been reaching out, doing like, hey guys, we're not gonna do this. Hey guys, let me show you what we're gonna do. Hey guys, this is how we're gonna move. Right? Stefanski not saying Shedeur Sanders' name at all, and them, not being that they're just bad at communication. The Browns front office is horrible at it. A lot of this stuff could have been, and it started with them sitting there saying, hey, we got a 4 quarterback competition, and everybody called them on it like, bro, it was no quarterback competition. You didn't even need to say that. But again, their messaging is trash. But what you're saying is two young competitive kids, not kids, they're grown men, but two young players who are feeling the pressure of competing and quite sensing like, this is weird. This ain't really how it's supposed to go. I didn't think it was supposed to go like that. So that's what you're saying, I think, a little bit too. Hi, G. Bush, like your content. I'm hoping people in London will call for 12. That's the only reason I am watching. KCM, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. I think Dylan Gabriel, now here's the thing that's crazy is because now every game you watch, Shador is one play away from going in. Now he won't go in because Joe Flacco is the second team quarterback, that's a whole nother thing we didn't even get a chance to get to. But you see it. Deion Jones, age with a vibrancy. Thank you so much. We appreciate you for becoming a member. Woo, we went overtime today. We want to thank each and every one of you. I told you, I give you your money's worth. I don't believe in you give a super chat and you just, I'm not going to glaze over your super chat. I'm going to get to it. If it take me an hour to read them, I'm going to read them super chat. So we appreciate you, and we respect 3,100 and almost 3,100 people in here that rock with me this entire 3 hours. Boy, I'll tell you what, I love that. I love the fact that we got a conversation. And when you come to the barbershop, it ain't just me talking. We're going to make sure y'all heard. So right now, if you want to become a member, put that up. We got some great stuff coming up. It's a perfect time to get in on the membership. We're going to be doing a breakdown on Tuesday of the Vikings. Dylan Gabriel is going to have his first start. Be in the know. Don't come in here blindly. When you talk to people about how you thought Dylan Gabriel played, be in the know. On Tuesday, 7 p.m. You want to get into the super chat, the members only chat? Wednesday, 7 p.m. We're giving that to you. If you want to know more about G. Bush and what my family looks like and some of the funny things, we do a top 5 show, a top 5 list with me and my brothers. We even put a blog on. People ask me the question all the time. How did you meet your wife? Well, I got a blog on there showing exactly how I met my wife, who is from the Philippines. So we give you a bunch of different other things, and we got some more content coming. But first and foremost, we do the barbershop. You know how we give it up over here. So we want to thank every single new member we got, every member that has showed up, and we want to thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Don't forget, coming up tomorrow, we got the post-game show. Post-game show coming up about 1:30. It's an early game. Be ready to go. Don't forget, UCSS post-game first. If you're on UCSS, 2-minute warning. So we doing double duty. If you're watching on the barbershop, log in. If you're watching on UCSS, log in. We ready to go. And then next week, coming up, we got a post-game show coming live from Sweet Pork Wilson's. Lakewood, Ohio. We're going to go to get some barbecue, and we're going to talk about the Browns game coming up next week. So we got a bunch of stuff coming up, and it's the only way you can watch this. You better log in. check out on UCSS. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you're watching Ultimate Browns. That's coming up on Tuesday. Ultimate Browns, 5 o'clock. Listen, ain't nobody working like this, bro. Ain't nobody working. It's people still sleep right now. But you know what? If you need the fresh cut on sports, the Barbershop is always keeping the Clippers with us. Have a great rest of your evening and your weekend and your day. Go out, see some things, walk, talk, eat some food, enjoy your family. We'll catch you tomorrow right here on the Barbershop. Peace.
Quality, service, atmosphere. You're next in the chair. Feel at home in the Barbershop. G. Bush offers a fresh cut on sports. The Barbershop isn't just grooming for guys. It's culture, it's lifestyle, it's sports. And it's now the Barbershop is giving the sports scene a sheer shave and shine. Join the makeover now. Follow Garrett Bush at GBush91 on Twitter.